Sometimes we get into situations where every decision has consequences. We get so deep into life that it's impossible to move forward without looking back. Maybe just take a step back and weigh the option. It's time to reevaluate my life and the decisions that got me here. Is it still possible to find happiness? Did I ruin my journey?
I'm at the rodeo with a bloody nose. I see those flashing lights every time I close my eyes. I'm mixing chemicals, looking for a miracle. I pray I feel something, but I'm out of dopamine. It don't work no more. No, it don't work no more. It don't work. Oh, I try, but I can't get high like I used to every night. I can't get high. It don't work no more. Oh, I've tried. I'm a man that's on a mission, chasing dragons, playing chicken. You either die here or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Candy flipping in the foyer, mixing dust with marijuana, and I think I'm hearing voices, can't control the paranoia. Oh, I can't get high like I used to every night. I can't get high. It don't work no more. Oh, I tried. I can't get high like I used to every night. I can't get high. It don't work no more. Oh, I tried. My river is run dry. How will I survive? Will I live or will I die? I'll find out tonight. 'Cause it don't work no more. It don't work no more. It don't work. How I tried. Oh, no, I can't get high. Why can't I get high? Oh, why? It don't work no more. How I tried. Oh, baby, let's run away. They'll never find us in Mexico. There's no time to waste. Things are heating up and we got to go. You can hop up on my Harley, bring that bottle of Bacardi, and we'll ride together through the night. I put the pedal to the metal, it's just you, me, and the devil, and they'll never catch us dead or alive. Hush, little baby,
I don't want to do this! No way! Why are you bringing me here now? You abandoned me because you didn't need me, right?
I'm so fucked up. Hey, I'm sorry I called. I promised I wouldn't, but I just wanna talk before I do something stupid, like go to the bar or the Maker's Mark, joyride in my car under the influence. And I fantasize about driving to Vegas, do lines off a Bible and read Revelations, locked in a motel while I'm crying for help. And I play with myself while I picture you naked, and I can't take it. SOS, call 911. I'm a mess since I lost your love, and I need you right now. Oh, I need you right now. SOS, you're the only one who can take these bullets out my lonely gun, and I need you right now. Oh, I need you right now. Right now, you probably think that I'm a schizo, talking to myself, middle finger on a pistol. But it's a flare gun, trying to get your attention, cause all of these antidepressants, they never doing a damn thing. I'm treading water, but I'm getting weaker, deeper and deeper, can you pull me out? I'm treading water, but I'm getting weaker, deeper and deeper, can you pull me out? SOS, call 911. I'm a mess since I lost your love, and I need you right now. Oh, I need you right now. SOS, you're the only one who can take these bullets out my lonely gun, and I need you right now. Oh, I need you right now. SOS, call 911. I'm a mess since I lost your love, and I need you right now. Oh, I need you right now.
Alright, gay boys, I reckon we might as well get into it. If I'm... No, I'm not muted. Okay, all good, all good, all good. How are we all doing today? A bonus stream day. Let me put some tunes in the background. I don't know how long we'll have these on, but we're going to have some tunes. You might wonder why I've gathered all of you here today. The reason is because there is a part 2 to the debate we watched last night between Pisco and Owlish. And I think this time it's to do with the debate that only just happened that we watched a part of, which was to do with Candace Owens versus Andrew Wilson, where Andrew Wilson paid $300,000 to have that debate, and he got kinda dog-walked for a solid 70% of it. He was doing fine for one moment, and then overall it was not a good showing. Candace Owens is an absolute fucking schizo who spent the last year obsessing over the fact that Charlie Kirk's death was an inside job by the big jury. And for whatever fucking reason, Andrew Wilson decided to have that debate without his ciggies, without looking into the specific arguments that she makes, and just off of vibes and feelings, seemingly. So unfortunately, despite the fact that Candace Owens is an absolute fucking insane human being, Andrew Wilson got dog-walked in that one. It did not end up looking good for him. And I think that's what the debate now is going to be about between Pisco and Owlish. So if you haven't watched that debate with Andrew and with Candace Owens, I don't recommend that you do. It's not valuable to your sort of life and peace of mind and just existence in general. But if bits and bobs come up that you are confused about, feel free to ask, and I shall do my best to answer. This is Pisco show now. Look, this is the world that the Pissman wants. Honestly, though, I will say, this is less to do with Pisco and more to do with Owlish. She is mental. Mental, I tell you. Absolute fucking insane. And so, I want to watch. She's stupid. Yeah, she is. She's not insane. She's not even mental. She's not like Candace Owens. She's just stupid. It's fucking sad, actually. Okay, but I do not care about the entry screen. Anyone who has a 10-minute intro screen is a poopy head mad dipshit.
Hello, can you hear me, Owlish?
No, I can't hear you.
Oh, you did the thing. How are you?
Yeah. Great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Yeah, I just had an excellent little sandwich. I had a really nice berry smoothie. Hung out with some of my friends. We did a little sake tasting. And now I'm back.
Sanbo gozaimasu. Tabemasu ka?
I don't know Japanese yet. I'm still learning.
But don't worry, I don't think she knows Japanese either.
Wakarimasu ka?
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't do that. We don't do that here. Well, we do it here, but I don't do it here yet. I'm still learning, all right? I'm still learning. And then you added me underneath one of my analyses of the Andrew Wilson Candace Owens debate with some like thoughts, and it triggered me, and I thought, why not boot up the stream with Owlish?
Sure. What triggers you about what I said?
Well, I just had a take which I think was the objectively correct take, which is Andrew Wilson won on substance, but he did really, really bad on substance because he wasn't like fact prepared.
And also, he only really won on substance if the person listening has like no conspiracy theory schizo proclivities. If you are one of those people for whom it's perfectly sufficient to be told that like, well, these things just aren't adding up, and there's bits and bobs that they aren't telling us, and this and that doesn't really make sense, then like, he didn't really win on substance either. It was a rough watch.
And he did even worse on optics.
On substance?
He won on substance.
How did he lose on stuff? You said okay. All right, that must have been just.
Oh no! Right off the bat,
I don't see why his evidence was any better than the evidence that Candace brought, because essentially he dismissed her evidence in favor of his own, which is equally as circumstantial.
I mean, I don't know what you say when you say it's equally circumstantial. I think a lot of the evidence was circumstantial, but not all of it. For example, I think that the confession was not circumstantial evidence.
So the confession, which I believe was given by Discord to say it came from that Discord account, doesn't necessarily mean it was his account, right?
I'm not saying that it necessarily came from his account, by which I mean it is ontologically necessary, but I just do think that I'm wondering what you mean by they're just as circumstantial. What does that mean?
He was talking about his shoes, brother.
What do you mean when you say they're just as circumstantial? What the fuck does that mean?
I just explained it to you. I said that Andrew Wilson, he used his evidence was that it was his shoes that definitely made him identifiable in those 2 megapixel or those 2 fucking pixel photos that were definitely of him. Well, you know, he was wearing the same shoes according to his ex-lover.
Are you hearing me?
What?
I asked you a question. You said the evidence was just as circumstantial. They were both just as circumstantial. I need to know what does that mean? That they're just as circumstantial.
I just explained it to you because because they both.
Oh, this is gonna be a rough watch. Oh, we're gonna be. How is she not on? How is she? You know, just how is she? How does she not understand that he wants her to explain why these two equally as circumstantial? And she's just, it's like she doesn't understand the question. Oh, it's gonna be rough.
They both basically came to the plate with circumstantial evidence. and no circumstantial evidence was better than the other, but Andrew Wilson was basically dismissing her evidence in favor of his own, which was equally as bad, with more terrible
I basically think that you're crazy if you thought that she had better evidence for her claim.
Yes, so, she actually did have better evidence for her claim. First of all, if you let's get this out of the way first. If you think that you take this trial seriously, because the Trump administration definitely took an interest in it, which is not something that you should take seriously on the outset. Like, them having eyes on this case already makes it suspicious. And
Why?
I think I replied to you.
Why would that be suspicious? A major political figure was assassinated.
He wasn't a major political figure.
What do you mean? What do you mean he wasn't a major political figure? He was in the fucking mainstream, generating hundreds of millions of revenue a month, covering political talk. Didn't he meet with Trump? Are we the stalkers now? I think we're far from it. I think they're just not sending their best, and so it's easy to get mixed up with the stalkers because it's just bullying these people that's appropriate. But I think we're far from.
I don't think
he wasn't. What are you talking about?
So any of there have been multiple other political figures who have been unfortunately killed, and they were given less attention than this.
I agree. He was more popular than many of those figures, the ones that are like the politicians from, I think you're referring to the ones from Minnesota. And also, it's the Trump administration, and so they have a bias for conservatives and Republicans. What's weird about spending federal resources investigating this crime, especially when the suspect was at large? It would be weird if they didn't get involved.
What? No, that is absolutely weird. For a murder trial? What?
What's more weird, for the feds to be involved or not be involved in the involvement in this case, putting their resources to help out local
How are you
officials
faring on this? I don't know if the Saturday's beautiful over there.
Why would they grant resources when he's not a federal employee?
Because the federal government has an interest in political assassinations, especially ones where, you know, there's a suspect at large and where the FBI can lend resources. Even if it's within the state, they will do this sometimes. The state was leading the charge when it comes to, like, the prosecution, but federal involvement is not weird in this situation. It'd be weird if they were absent.
Well, I think it's weird that Trump actually claimed to care about this, and then instead of, you know, going to Arizona for the
okay,
return,
so I'll just ask you directly then. Do you think the federal government should have gotten involved in any capacity in the investigation into Charlie Kirk's murder?
No, I don't think. I think they should have left it to the state. Honestly, it's not a federal. He didn't commit a federal crime. I don't think that that they should use federal resources on him for a crime that was committed in a state under.
What was the question? Oh, I was just wondering if you'd like me if I was a worm. Every time, chat. Every time. But no, there wasn't a question. We're just summoning you because we like you. Just like your presence is valued.
State, and they're using state statutes to prosecute him, are they not? Like, he's not being charged with a federal crime, is he?
I actually don't know if there's a...
Also, Chido, I do actually have a question for you, which isn't to do with whether you'd like me if I was a worm. Last night you were saying that Luigi pled guilty. I've read somewhere that he pled guilty to the charge of stalking, not to the charge of murder. Have you had a chance to look into that a little bit closer? Because apparently the stuff about murder is going to be a separate trial altogether, and he's only pled guilty to stalking. Is that true or no?
Parallel federal case against him, but whether there is or not...
Why would there be?
Well, for some killings, there are specific, like, terrorism statutes that apply to certain killings done for particular reasons. For example, terrorism-related reasons, where there's a federal jurisdictional hook. They
are definitely not going to be able to charge him with terroristic, with with terrorism. That's not something.
Yeah,
that
I'm
they
not so
can
sure
question
about that, but like that's not. I'm not saying the federal government should have prosecuted him with a crime, but what's wrong with the federal government being involved in like investigating? Why would you be against that?
Why would I be against the federal government
I feel you.
showing bias to one specific case?
That's a pretty strong
A
statement.
really major case for one specific political person. Yes. What's wrong with that?
So if any political commentator is shot and killed,
Yes, I would hope the feds get involved and lend their resources, the FBI, to help out if political people are being assassinated. I think there's a clear federal interest
I don't
there.
think that he was I really don't think that he was like ostensibly a political person. He was a
Charlie Kirk was not a political person.
What do you mean Charlie Kirk was not ostensibly a political person? Is a political person when you're in the parliament? Is that what a political person is then? Because it sounds like that's the end all be all.
You don't think that Charlie Kirk was a political person?
No, so like he was a political commentator, but I wouldn't say that he was a politician, right?
I don't know that I would call him a politician, but he was. This was a political. Was Martin Luther King a political figure?
Yeah, he was, but
was he a politician?
No, but Martin Luther King had more. I feel like he had more going. He had more political capital.
Well, what do you mean you feel like? To be specific. Last night you spent so long bitching about fucking Abdullah Saeed's grammar, and now we're gonna do I feel statements. Come on now.
Than Charlie Kirk did, because I mean, his thing wasn't was debating. It wasn't like he was out doing. Did he normally go out and do speeches and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
And start coalition. I mean, besides Turning Point USA,
yes.
Besides the largest thing, yeah, maybe not.
Besides his largest
organization.
I mean, he started an organization, but like,
how do people get this confident when they don't know the first
the FBI,
fucking thing?
Right? So, unless we want to go with that.
Okay, but we're just talking about, let's assume not a particular theory. Let's just, you don't even think that you think it's suspicious that the federal government's involved. You're like saying
I don't think it's suspicious.
You don't want Trump involved here.
I don't think it's suspicious necessarily. Well, no, I don't think that Trump should be involved at all. I think that
Yeah, but here's the question, Salty. Is she like this because she's a DGG, or is she a DGG because she's like this? It's like a chicken and egg equation with these people. You will never fucking know. You will never fucking know. This one's gonna get up. This one's gonna get up as well. That's alright, I can handle it.
Trump himself should stay out of it, and if they want to donate federal resources to it, then
they should be involved, right? The FBI should be involved.
I don't think they should. I think they should let the state take care of it. Why are the feds involved at all?
Because they can help. Because they have like fingerprint databases. They have fingerprint databases. They have like technical know-how. They want this case to be successful.
So does the state.
Yeah, they both work together.
Local office
What's
can't
weird
take
about
care
that?
Of this?
They want help and resources. They don't want to fuck it up because it's a really important case.
You want Kash Patel, the dude who said...
No, not him specifically.
I'll see you in Valhalla?
No, the fucking actual career people. I want them to be involved.
What are the actual career people? Because
the FBI agents and the scientists and the criminologists and shit.
Sure, let's talk about the evidentiary hearing and the fact that they used the wrong DNA analysis to actually prove that the DNA that was submitted actually belonged to Tyler Robinson and to not one of his family members.
Yeah, so
right, because that was something.
I don't want to move off the point until you have some agreement that like whether the feds are involved here doesn't raise or lower the amount of credence in there being a patsy or some corruption, right? Just the mere fact of federal involvement doesn't affect anything, right? It's not evidence in favor of Candace.
It doesn't affect anything broadly, no, but you should take it with a grain of salt. The fact that the government immediately hopped on a murder case in a state, right? Like you don't normally see that
for important murder cases. They'll get involved. Okay, so I want to hear you say the feds should
Also, why wouldn't they get involved when the immediate suspicion was that he was assassinated by a left-wing fucking transgender LGBTQ activist? It's fucking goldmine for this administration. That's their entire thing, is culture war. Every single day of the week, all of it is culture war. Of course they got involved. It was about to be free fucking real estate for that lot.
Never be involved in school shootings.
Okay. Not the same thing. That is terrorism.
Oh, that's terrorism. But killing Charlie
Yes.
Kirk for arguably political reasons, I would say likely political reasons, isn't terrorism.
No, it's not terrorism. And we already know it's not terrorism because, what's his name? The guy that shot the healthcare CEO was charged with terrorism, and they immediately dropped that against him. Mangione. Luigi
And that's
Mangione.
how you know it's not terrorism? Because of a particular charge?
Yes, he did the same thing. He did the same thing, very intentionally shot somebody, and he actually admitted to doing it. They charged him with terrorism, and they dropped the charge against him because they weren't able to prove it.
Yeah.
Or they...
But you can only... All of this happens after their involvement is already present. So I feel like she needs to bite the bullet on the fact that it makes sense for them to want to get involved when the person who just got murked is, like, really fucking popular. I wouldn't expect Owlish or even Pisco to know the exact law, but she's so wildly dead wrong. Let us have a read. Investigative Assistance for Violent Crimes. Investigative Assistance for Violent Crimes Act of 2012, IAVCA in parentheses, is a federal law in the United States that clarifies the statutory authority for federal law enforcement agencies to provide investigatory assistance to the states. The act provided that, upon request from a state or local government, federal law enforcement may assist in the investigation of a violent crime occurring in non-federal public places. The act did not create any new crimes, but rather mandated a definition across federal law enforcement agencies of mass killings as a killing of 3 or more victims in the same incident. So that's to do with the mass, but I don't think that part is particularly relevant. The act enabled the Federal Bureau of Investigation to develop a program of research and training to address active shooter incidents. Okay, yeah, so that it's... Oh, God bless. God bless. What is Pisco's background? It's not in criminal law. I know that much. I don't remember the specifics, though.
Terrorism didn't apply.
Just because you would drop a terrorism charge...
Oh, no, he definitely does, Salty. That's why he's right and she's wrong, but he might not know the specific acts to bring
and were all these school shooters... Were all these school shooters charged with terrorism? So if I find a school shooter where there was federal involvement but no terrorism charge, would you say that therefore the federal government should have been involved in the school shooting?
You're the one who brought up terrorism. What do you mean?
I'm just like, the federal government should be there for important investigations to help out the states. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if it's a state crime, they can just lend their resources to help.
Yeah, no. I got that as soon as I got to that bit, Cheeto. It was just the next sentence, and I didn't know it before I've read it. And that's why I was saying that, like, that part isn't relevant, because the mass shooting wasn't, but the first 2 sentences in the last one were absolutely spot on.
It's called, like, being part of a society that, like, works with each other.
How have they contributed?
So the FBI has been involved in terms of running the investigation and trying to track him down, right? Interfacing with the Utah police to help them. Who is this guy? Joe Kent mentioned that there was FBI investigation going on in terms of getting more evidence. So they had an investigatory role
office?
in conjunction with their federal
FBI
friends.
office.
Together, they work together.
Yeah, the local. Why can't the local FBI office take care of it? Like,
yeah, but the thing, Salty, you gotta understand is that she seems to be with Candace Owens on this, and Candace Owens is big on the conspiracy. So any form of government involvement is, it's the Jews, man. It's the Jews.
why do they need federal involvement in this? Because
it helps.
Again.
Is this really evidence for you? Do you think it's suspicious?
It helps.
Do you think it's suspicious that
No,
the federal government...
I don't necessarily find it like overwhelmingly suspicious. I just think that it's weird that the Trump administration would pretend to care about a political commentator
that really helped them out and was responsible.
That was instrumental in their 2020 victory, that has been a very prominent public figure for years now, that has a huge platform and was reinforcing the MAGA movement, and was, at least prior to the last couple of days of his life, very pro-Israel. Like, shit, I wonder why they wanted to look into this. Oh, it's the waifu. He's trapped now.
For swinging some youth and getting people activated for Republicans? You think that they wouldn't care about that?
It's not that I don't think it would.
It was a huge catalyst. Yeah, it was a huge catalyst to reinforce what they were already peddling at the time, which is that the left is terroristically violent and that the left wants to kill all of them.
Care about it, and I know that Trump claims that they were friends, but I think that
I would be very much down for that, Salty. I just think with me being in Europe, figuring out a time where it works is going to be super fucking rough.
Right? Because one of the things I wanted to bring up was we were discussing in on the Twitter post the autopsy report, right?
Okay, we can get into a specific piece of evidence, but I just want to give you my overall take, and then you can give me your overall take. Is that okay? And then we can get into whatever specific evidence you want. Okay.
Yeah,
we can do autopsy, shoe thing, whatever. So my overall take is the overwhelming amount of evidence that exists, right? And some of which Andrew was able to point at effectively, like confessions, right? All else equal, confessions increase our credence that someone did the thing, right? All else equal. Why? Because we think statements against interest wouldn't be said if they're not true. We have a bias now, tend not to, right? Not that it's impossible. Okay, so a confession, all else equal, raises our credence level. Things like a fingerprints and ownership of a gun that's related to his family, right? That raises our credence that, well, if you had access to the gun, all else equal, we think that it increases the likelihood that the gun was used by the person who had access to it or who owned it.
Yeah, it's the plausibility of it.
We also think that things like parental non-objection when they are the closest to the individual who's accused, that also speaks to, I think, most people's intuitions about the likelihood that a given crime occurred. Things like camera footage, which tends to look at someone similar to the person who's being accused. At a bare minimum, you're going to have to grant that, and that tracks movements consistent with I believe consistent with his cell phone location shit. I think he might have turned off his cell phone at a given point and then returned it on, but at least it fits within that pattern. That tends to increase our credence. Well, he's there, right? So all of this stuff.
Did they have that data?
I think that, as I'm remembering, I'm not recalling if he turned off his phone at a certain point, but there was some window of time in which he was traveling to the campus, and I think that there were some associated records of pings or something, or Google data. As I sit here now, I'm not recalling it. But just in general, the kind of evidence, this is my overall point, let's do your overall point, that Andrew points to tends to increase our credence in the conclusion that he's guilty. The kind of stuff that Candace was vaguely gesturing at is totally equivocal and doesn't tend to increase our credence, because other plausible solutions, I think, are either just as likely or more likely, or it's consistent with the official story. And so that's why I think that she lost on substance, clearly. I'll let you make your overall point, then we can get into specific evidence.
Yeah, so you understand that her specific argument was that what the argument that she was trying to make is granting that it should be looked into that there was a patsy, not necessarily that he
agrees with that, though. Who disagrees that it should be looked into? No one disagrees with that.
Yeah, that's a non-statement. That's like saying there should be an investigation. Like, yeah, that it's. But yeah, what does that? You're not saying anything. You're not saying anything. It's not a sentence.
No, that's what Andrew Wilson did disagree about. He disagreed that it should be looked into.
No,
he
he
thinks
didn't.
that she's crazy for suggesting that. Yes.
literally said-
He explicitly said at the beginning that his angle is that she is there should be more investigation into this, and they have been caged with certain details that they should give people. And he also said later on that he would have been fine if that's all it was, but she makes assertions that she has no, how did he phrase it? Positive factual evidence of?
It should be looked into. He said everything should be looked into. He says that in the debate.
Okay, so unless did he concede on that point? Because
It's
from
not a concession.
That's
what
not
I
a
watched,
concession. Everyone agrees with that.
Yeah.
it should be looked into that there was a patsy.
Yes.
Yes, that these theories should be looked into. And probably were.
No, that was
yes,
the
they
entire,
were.
That was the,
No, it wasn't.
That was the entire disagreement of the debate. Was the fact
she
that
can't speak, she can't listen. What
Andrew
can
Wilson was
she
arguing
do?
against why it should be
No,
not
Chino,
looked
they
into,
haven't.
right?
No, that wasn't the debate.
They haven't done
ended the
anything
debate,
with that
and
at all.
I think PBD asked them what percentage you would put of guilt that he was involved in the shooting, or sorry, I should say that he did the shooting, that he killed Charlie Kirk. And she said 0%. He said 75%. I thought that was an error on his part to make it so low. But she put 0%. So they were arguing about the fact of the matter. They weren't arguing about whether you should look into it. And Andrew was saying, nope, don't look into it. Was that your impression?
That was part of the argument. That was
it
the
wasn't.
entire first part of the debate. Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
But regardless, I think that her stance, and this is the point I made on Twitter, I think that her stance, being that is a credible, has a lot of credibility behind it because of the evidence that she presented. She presented much stronger evidence than Andrew Wilson did.
Not true. Listen, this is what I'll grant you, right? Andrew did a horrible job. He didn't have a good command of the facts. He was nervous.
He paid $300,000 to have a debate that he didn't prep for. Do you understand that? He paid... I don't have $300,000, and he just dished that out for a debate he wasn't ready to have. He spent $300,000 on that shit, bro. Just to get fucking dog walked by Candace Owens. It was genuinely not a good showing. Which is funny for somebody like myself, because I already think that Candace Owens is a fucking schizo. So the fact that Candace Owens still maintains her status as a schizo, but Andrew got once again humiliated, is just... that makes me happy, you know? It's a moral goodness that happened.
He made many mistakes, and on optics, he looked awful. And on optics, I think she's overrated in optics. I thought she looked really bad in the middle and was going on these like barely coherent rants for like 10 minutes. And I think that she looked insane. But overall, she was more poised and more calm.
He took too many L's that he didn't have to take by being overconfident, which is shocking given that once again he didn't prep for the debate. Candace Owens had quite a few, I think, bad moments. There was one specifically where she was saying that she's entitled to think what she wants and she doesn't need any evidence to think about things. She can just think about them because anyone gets to think about them. And he didn't push her on that. And I think the reason why he didn't push her on that is because right before, he did push her on the 7... I should probably play the clip of that, actually. There is a really, 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 really bad clip from that debate. Hold on. Fuck, I don't know if it will be easy to find it now. There is a clip where he asks her if she's able to list all 7 charges. And she starts answering, and after the first charge, she starts further explaining what that charge means, and he keeps interrupting her, being like, "Oh, you're playing for time, you're trying to run away. What are the other charges? Why are you not telling me about the other charges? Ooh." And she keeps saying like, "Hey, if you stop interrupting me, I'm going to tell you all about these other charges. Just let me get through my sentence." And he's doing the, "Oh, if you knew, you would have said straight away, but you're not saying, oh." And then she said all 7 charges. They pulled up a fact check and she was correct on all 7 of them. And then Andrew Wilson goes like, "Oh, I've noticed that as you were delaying, you looked at your phone. Oh, I wonder if somebody maybe sent you the answer." And she goes, "No, I'll show the moderator my phone." She pulls out her phone, opens her messaging apps, shows it to the moderator. He starts scrolling through them, finds out she wasn't messaged at all. She just knows the 7 charges because she's been obsessing over this for a year. and Andrew just got absolutely fucking gaped. It was really bad. I don't know if I can, I don't know if I'll find it, because I randomly bumped into that on Twitter after the debate, and I don't remember the timestamp. It was near the end. Andrew Wilson said he doesn't eat pussy. Well, not so much said he doesn't eat pussy. He very strongly hinted that he doesn't eat pussy.
Her intros and conclusions weren't like these meandering, weird, bizarre, twisted things. And so she comes away looking better. I would grant that. But what was the better evidence?
So the better evidence that she presented was that the DNA evidence was deprecated and had 5 different, I guess 5 different fingerprints or 5 different pieces of DNA that were found.
He never contested
which kind of
that,
lines
though.
up with the evidentiary hearing, which states that the DNA was degraded to the point where you couldn't actually tell individually who the DNA belonged to. You could tell maybe a familial line, but it wasn't necessarily that. And then there was, I think Lance was brought up.
Can we pause there first? So let's pause there
Yeah.
on the points regarding the fingerprint shit. As Andrew explained there, and again, I think Andrew did a really horrible job. I want to be clear. I gave him a D on substance and a D- on presentation. And I gave Candace an F- on substance and a C in presentation.
Really,
So
you would give her an F- on substance?
Yes, totally. And I'm about to show you why. F-. If I could go lower, I would. F-, yes. Because look at the fingerprint shit. So the fingerprint is degraded. Therefore, what? And Andrew successfully pointed to that. There's no inference from that. Unlike, okay, well, generally, confessions raise our priors that the person who confessed is guilty, right? What is the thing for the fingerprint thing? That's like, makes no sense.
Because the fingerprints, there were 5 different fingerprints found on the gun.
And therefore, what?
And therefore, you can't prove that he was the last person to touch it, right?
Not by itself. It's the totality of circumstances, but that doesn't raise the probability of Patsy. It's consistent with both, right? It's consistent with the fact that he did shoot, and it's consistent with the fact that he did not shoot. It doesn't raise your credence in Patsy.
Yes, it absolutely does.
How?
Because wasn't Lance's fingerprints found on it?
No.
And the DNA was found on it?
This is where the dead naming starts. I genuinely think Pisco just didn't know. Or he wasn't, like his mind was elsewhere, because Pisco's not the type for this. As for her, I don't know. She's really dumb. So it's perfectly possible that she doesn't know either. But I genuinely do not know. But this is where the dead naming starts. Every time they say Lance, that's the dude's girlfriend's dead name from prior to the transition. It's Luna now. It's Luna, right? Is it Luna? Sorry, I want to double check if I've got it right. Yes, Luna, okay. So who are these people? When you say these people, who do you mean? Do you mean, Luna? She's the girlfriend of the guy who shot Charlie Kirk, allegedly shot Charlie Kirk. And when they say Lance, they're talking about Luna, they're just dead naming her for reasons I'm not entirely certain of.
No, that's what she.
Whose DNA was
that's
found
what she.
on it?
That's what she admitted she was wrong about it.
Yeah.
That's
Whose
Candace
DNA
admitted.
was found on it? It could have been. Well, I know that his
Let's deal
grandfather's
with what Candace argued, right? So let's deal with the fingerprints, right? Not DNA, right? Fingerprints different than DNA? Yes.
Well, they said both.
Okay, but let's deal with fingerprints first. That's what you brought up, right?
It was both. Both things were mentioned. during
Okay,
the
but
argument. It
you
was both
first
DNA,
brought
it
up
was-
fingerprints, right? So let's talk about fingerprints first, right?
Why would we not talk about the thing that they brought up? They brought up in the same sentence DNA and fingerprints.
Okay, but let's do it one at a time, right?
Okay, sure. Go
So
for
the
it.
fact that there's a degraded fingerprint or
Oh,
whatever,
God.
and that his was the most degraded, what does that show?
Yes. it shows that other people probably touched it after him.
Why? Based on what?
And degraded his fingerprint.
Where do you get that? That because his fingerprint's degraded, other people touched it earlier.
It would probably be better if no other fingerprints were found on it, right? That would kind of increase.
That's not the question, right? Why does this increase?
I know that's not the question, but what I'm stating is that the fact that there were 5 other fingerprints found on it.
I'm rather unconvinced.
Well, I'm not. I'm sorry. It would be 4 other because there were 5 sets found on it, I guess. That there were 4 other sets of fingerprints found on it, and his was the most degraded. That necessarily implies that he was not the last one to touch it, right?
Wait, no, but whether it is true or not that his was the most degraded, and because it's the most degraded, it wasn't the last one to touch it. That's consistent with him being or not being a patsy. Those are both like, to me, it just doesn't raise the credence level. There could be other reasons that it was degraded, and you need to provide a rational inference. That is to say, if it's degraded, right, it makes it less likely that he was the last one.
Degraded.
Based on what? Where's degraded. What's the step between least degraded and last one to touch it?
Because it would be least degraded because his fingerprint would literally be on the trigger.
The worst part about this is that I can't comment on this at all. I do not know how fingerprint degradation on firearms works. I don't know if that... Her point is that logically, if he was the last to touch it, his would have been the freshest because he was the last to touch it. I don't know if that's how that works at all.
Since he was the last one to pull it.
Yeah, so make that connection. What's the evidence for that? Like, what is the kind of evidence that have you run some kind of scientific, or like, are you aware of scientific evidence that would tend to show that?
Okay, so like, let's use logic here. If he was the last person to touch the gun,
I don't know that
because he was the one on the roof shooting it. Then you would assume that his fingerprints would be more prominent along the gun.
Yeah, why?
Was he wearing gloves?
I don't.
Can I pop in real quick? Yeah, of course you can. Let me jump in Discord. Hold on, my, there we go. Where the fuck are my voice channels? There they are. Yeah, jump in whenever you're ready, man.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I stream. Oh, pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. What can I do you for?
I just want to say, it's driving me crazy that, like, even just like thinking about this as basically a complete layperson, like just thinking about how fingerprints are laid down and stuff, the reason that you would want to give for his being the most degraded as being evidence that maybe like he wasn't the most recent one to touch it is because other people touching over his fingerprint, their fingerprints would rub and degrade his. So if there are other ones that are less degraded, it means that his were older. Other people touched the trigger after he did. That's why his prints are more degraded on the trigger, because other people's prints have rubbed over his and placed their own on it. I can't believe she can't even fucking articulate it. I'm going insane.
Yeah, that's the... I understand what you're saying 100%. But that's the thing that I don't get about her in general. She had the exact same issue yesterday, where she genuinely cannot explain her position to save her fucking life. She says, I bet you right now, I don't know if you've already watched this, I haven't. I will unpause this and she will still not reiterate that what she means is that because other people would have touched the trigger after him, it would degrade his fingerprints more. I'm telling you, she will not say those words. If we're lucky, we might get a version of Pisco arriving at that conclusion himself. But we're not going to get that from her.
Yep. All right, yeah, that's all. I'm just going crazy because I'm like, how can they just not say this? Like, just please say the word.
Yeah, she will. I have a strong feeling she will not say the word, my friend. But hey, maybe we'll be proven wrong in the next few minutes.
Good luck. I'll pop back.
Thanks.
Fucking no. Do you?
No, he wasn't wearing gloves. I don't think he was wearing gloves. And if he was wearing gloves, or if he wasn't wearing gloves, then why did he not wipe the gun?
Yeah, I'm just not like, maybe he wiped the gun.
He left the gun. He left the gun in the forest.
It was in the middle of the forest, right?
Unwiped?
So, yeah, so it was in the middle of the forest. Maybe because it was in the middle of the forest. Like, I'm not a fucking scientist, and I want some fucking evidence and some inference.
Then why are you making this?
No, I'm saying so there's no she's not providing an inference, a jump from, well, more degraded, therefore last one to touch it is someone else. and it's therefore
Yes,
like,
that would
isn't being
necessarily
provided.
indicate that his fingerprints would be the most prominent on the gun.
Unless there was some
Because he
other
was the last
reason why it was being degraded. The fingerprint.
There would be multiple fingerprints on the gun because he was the last one to touch it. He was the last one to use it.
What
And
if you wore gloves?
wouldn't his fingerprints also be on the other bullets inside of the gun?
Yeah, so again, these are all just questions. You're not providing the inference that is.
None of this evidence was brought up at the evidentiary hearing, so I'm assuming that
you need to provide an
either-
inference.
I'm calling it right now. Either I walk up to the chest and these two will pop open and these spiders will attack me, or they will attack me after yeah, there we go. Or they will attack me after I've opened the chest. Games nowadays are not very creative.
For why it is that it follows that given that it was degraded, then something. That's what Andrew was pointing out, and he did so successfully.
Yes, it is degraded because if
not why it's degraded, but what is the implication?
If they were the most prominent.
No.
The most prominent.
Hey Stepan, how you doing, baby?
They would be the most prominent. That's why I'm saying that's the argument, that they would be more prominent considering he was the last person to use the gun. Allegedly.
Okay. Look at what I do with a confession, right? Because you're going to agree with it. Do you agree that all else equal, someone who confesses is more likely to have committed the crime?
Did the guy who admitted?
Pisco's making a critical mistake here, which he hasn't learned from last night, which is that she cannot engage in hypotheticals. It's a rough deal, but it is what it is. Polish Nostradamus, hell yeah, bro, hell yeah. What is happening that you're streaming 3 times this week? First of all, there's another Owlish debate, and she's really dumb. Okay, so I just want to enjoy my Saturday. Second of all, I'm kind of in a good mood. Still tired by and large, but I'm kind of in a good mood because I am going back to my regular work shift starting from the second week of next month. So I will no longer be doing this fucking ridiculous 10 whilst 6 p.m. I'll be back on regular 8 whilst 4. And I'm just in a good mood as a result of that, because it means that my life can regain a semblance of normal, because 10 whilst 6 is the most dogshit fucking shift known to man. It's not an afternoon shift per se, it's not a morning shift, it's a fucking nothing shift. It's a go and fuck yourself shift, because if you want to sort anything out at all, you won't be able to, because you have to leave before 10 to get to work for 10, and by the time you come back, everything everywhere's closed. What does that mean? What does what mean? It's kind of a string of content too. Owlish, Candace debate, Owlish. True, although we went Candace debate, Owlish, Owlish. 6 whilst 10, or what you said. I currently work 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it's an abhorrent shift, and from next month onwards I'm going back to working 8 a.m. whilst 4 p.m. which is a regular shift pattern, and that's put me in a good mood.
To committing the crime, I don't remember his name, but the guy who first admitted to doing the crime, do you think he did the crime because he admitted?
Listen to my question. Listen to my question. Do you believe that all else equal, if a person confesses,
she doesn't know what all else equals means, she doesn't know
likelihood that
hypotheticals.
that person is guilty?
You're
asking me a question. You're asking a question.
Did anybody confirm? Yes, but did anybody confirm that the confession, the alleged confessions actually came from Tyler Robinson?
So I want to just get you to answer the question, and then we can talk about what
I said yes. I answered yes.
Okay. So
she didn't
answer yes. No, he did not confess. No, he did not confess.
Okay, we can deal with the truth or falsity of his confession, okay? And whether he did or not.
Hey, Lonerbox raided on YouTube. Thank you for the Lonerbox raid on YouTube. Welcome, hi, and hello. I am so sorry. Wait, how the fuck is your how is the fuck is my YouTube chat? Oh no, I've gone done and bad. See, this scuffed experience that you have just witnessed now is kind of a KrysSpeaks regular, so I do apologize, and also your messages should now be visible on the stream chat, because your boy the streamer man is fucking retarded. We are currently watching the second Owlish Pisco debate. This one is on the topic of the Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson debate. Candace Owens being an absolute schizo. Andrew Wilson's the guy who can't open up a pickle jar. I'm sure you guys are familiar with all of these. And we are watching that debate because Owlish is... she's difficult to listen to, but in a way that makes you want to listen more. Do you know what that means? It's a rough ordeal. But also welcome, hi, and hello to any of you who are not aware of who I am. I am Chris, the VTuber you can see in the bottom right corner. I do variety streaming, usually it's politics related whilst I play a video game. The first Berserker Kazan, as it happens to be today. And yeah, hi, hello, and welcome. I hope you find your time here enjoyable, and if you end up finding it enjoyable indeed, feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and assuming I haven't fucked up anything else on the streamer side of things, if you do !Discord in either of the chats, it should link my Discord, which you are more than welcome to join. Isn't that copyrighted music? I have it going at 1.15 speed, I think. Which means that the copyright might not hit me. Usually it would be, yes. But we got methods, my guy, we got methods. Also, to be fair, I usually, my YouTube VODs tend to be unlisted, and Twitch deals with copyright in their own bizarre way, so I'm usually not too fussed about copyrighted music for streams. For YouTube videos, way more, but currently due to life circumstances over the last couple of months, I have not really been making YouTube videos. Might go back to it quite soon. Yeah. Rootsy, that's very kind of you to say. How you doing, love? It's been a while since we spoke. Don't know your gender, but are great to be sent here by Great Boner Box. Also appreciate not shitting on Pisco because Destiny community is giving him a rough one. I will sooner shit on Destiny than I will shit on Pisco. And when I say sooner will, the shitting on Destiny has been sort of a... it has been happening on the regular. I'm not a fan of the guy. It is what it is. It is what it is. But also, hi and welcome once again. I will do my best to keep up with the chat, but I'm not used to having 200 people watch me, so I apologize if I miss a message or two.
Not confess, okay? But that's the kind of thing where every normal person will agree. All else equal, confession...
No wonder Rootsy likes you, lol. Rootsy really likes me because I shit on Hassan. Shitting on Destiny is just a bonus.
Raises probability of guilt. It doesn't...
Yes.
It's not intuitive to me that all else equal, degraded fingerprint means...
And sorry, you were asking earlier how I find the game and that you were close to finishing it. I find it very fun, but I don't know if I fucked the difficulty or if the game is just meant to be quite easy, because I am finding it rather easy so far. I think there's been one boss that I've quote-unquote struggled with, and the struggle was that I needed more than 2 attempts to kill him.
Right? That's not intuitive to me the way it is intuitive to me that confession raises guilt propensity. And so what we're looking for is an inference.
No, absolutely.
What did Andrew and the other person debate? Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens debated whether the assassination of Charlie Kirk was an inside job by the great jury, or whether the guy who was accused of killing Charlie Kirk actually killed Charlie Kirk. Now, if you're not a fucking schizo, you will probably find yourself on Andrew Wilson's side, because, I mean, come on. But he did awful. He got absolutely fucking dog-walked by Candace Owens time and time again. There was one bit where he was doing half decent, and unfortunately that did not last. Candace took a massive fat fucking dub. And also, just as a heads up, there is a slight trigger warning, because again, from Lona's side of things, I don't know who I've got here. For whatever reason, I think Pisco just didn't know, and Owlish is probably also not aware, because she, again, is quite fucking stupid. They dead named the fuck out of a trans person who was the alleged shooter's, who is the alleged shooter's girlfriend. So just a heads up that happens quite a lot today.
Physical evidence is more. Are you arguing that physical evidence is not more substantive than
listen to what I said.
Admitting something? Do you understand that somebody can admit something under duress?
I do, yes, but all else equal, we agree that in general it increases the likelihood of guilt. What I'm looking for is...
It increases the likelihood...
I'm not comparing... I'm not comparing physical versus confessions. What I'm saying is, it's not intuitive to me that degraded fingerprint, I didn't say all physical evidence, I didn't say everything. I said it's not intuitive to me that degraded fingerprint increases chance of like something, right? That's not intuitive to me. The way that confession increased guilt probability is intuitive.
No, it absolutely is intuitive. Physical evidence is used to prove that the person was at the scene regardless
you
of
can
what,
ask me questions
what
because this is going this is going nowhere, Owlish. You can ask me questions. What are your questions?
What do you mean? What are my questions? Do you understand that he could have made, first of all, it wasn't ever proven that those confessions actually came from him, right? I mean, you have like
proven to a reasonable certainty. Yes, I think it was.
Did he say that they were from him?
Did he?
Did anybody else in his life? Was there testimony indicating?
Yes.
Tyler Robinson.
Yeah, Lance Twiggs.
Okay, so Lance Twiggs said that?
Yeah.
What are my questions? I just...
Okay, and Lance Twiggs...
The worst part of this is that she genuinely doesn't
Lance
understand
Twiggs
English. And I think it's the only language
Tyler
she
Robinson
speaks, so that's
said
not
to
good.
me, X. He did it. Multiple times through text and then also orally. And then he cried. So there is testimony, right?
No, that's not testimony.
Of course it is.
What makes him a reliable witness?
Okay, you can get to like the weight of the evidence, right? But it is
That's exactly what
there
we're
is
arguing,
evidence.
is the weight of the evidence.
Okay, no, but there is evidence he confessed, right? He said that if someone said he confessed to me.
No, there's not evidence that he confessed. There
Wait, how is that not evidence?
Confession was made. There was evidence that a confession was made.
I will do in a
he
sec,
made the
love. I'm just
confession.
getting my ass handed to me by my waifu.
So just to be clear, there is evidence that he confessed, right? And at least because you're
No,
saying that
there is
yes,
not
yes, there is.
evidence
So
that
let's
he
talk about it.
confessed.
So let's talk about that, right? Put aside the texts for a second.
Does she mean there is no evidence that he confessed because it could have been somebody else typing from his account? That is what she means, right? That's... oh, Jesus. I thought they addressed that.
All right, or the Discord messages. Put aside that for a second. If someone says, hey, Lance, sorry, not Lance, Tyler confessed to me that he killed Charlie. Is that evidence that Lance confessed? Or sorry, that Tyler confessed?
No. That's
so what would constitute evidence of
a claim was made?
What would constitute evidence that Tyler confessed? If not that.
Because
what would constitute evidence of a confession if not even that would constitute evidence of a confession?
If it came out of Tyler Robinson's mouth, right?
So Tyler Robinson would have to lie on the stand? He would have to lie on the stand? Tyler Robinson would have to lie on the stand. For you to say it's evidence, it would have to be Tyler Robinson lying on the stand directly?
No, I said confessing. What do you mean lying on the stand?
Evidence of a confession can come in multiple forms, right? Evidence of a confession, correct?
Oh shit house.
I don't necessarily know what that. No, I'm not gonna make a claim because I don't know the like the law on that. Whether what substantiates as
so you get
evidence.
So a witness.
I mean, as a confession.
All right, you're a police officer.
What is the law?
You're a police officer. Imagine you're.
Has her being trans ever been confirmed? I am not familiar with like the very details of what was and wasn't confirmed, but I believe just going off of the name alone, that would be a yes, right? Oh wait, there you go. Cheeto in YouTube chat being an absolute fucking legend. Let me say thank you, Cheeto. Also, Rootsy. Are you there, Rootsy? Are you currently there? Oh no, Rootsy has left me. Rootsy doesn't love us, chat. Rootsy hates every single one of us. Sadness overcomes me. This is the dumbest topic. Neither of these people really know the case, and Owlish is just saying things. That's kind of Owlish just saying things is kind of a theme with that chatter I've noticed. She's Owlish just saying things that's just the reality of every conversation of hers that I've seen so far, which to be fair I've only seen 2, but she has come across tremendously stupid in both of them. What's a lower game volume? I've lowered it last night and you said it was all right.
Police officer, okay? Someone comes up to you and says, someone just ran into my store. He just shot a bunch of people. He admitted it to me that he did it. And he hates humanity. Is that evidence that he confessed? That the shooter confessed? That's some evidence, right?
Sure. It's evidence from a witness that may or may not be lying, but you don't prosecute somebody based on evidence.
Okay, but it's some evidence. It raises the likelihood that he confessed, right? The fact that someone is willing to testify to that.
I think that there's also evidence that indicates that Lance Twiggs was at the scene, does it not?
That's not responsive
Wait, who's the quant soldier, Bill?
to what I'm talking about now. We can go to that next time. Or later, sorry. Right after
What do you
this.
mean
if you
next
want.
time?
Later, right after this, we can talk about that. Whether he's on the scene or not.
Right.
That's tangential.
Right, but I mean, like, I don't know why you're putting know why you're putting all this emphasis on like whether or not it's a confession, because the confession here would mean that the case is over, would it not? I mean, like, what
he could argue that it's like a falsely obtained confession, or that he lied, or that it was coerced.
Yeah, so why? So what's the point of you arguing this?
Most people learn this in high school, but Owlish is special. Owlish, to my understanding, is American, and English is the only language she speaks, and to say that she speaks it is a strong fucking statement. It's just, I don't know. In many ways, I admire people like her who have so much confidence to engage in this debate when, in any debate, frankly, when she's this far behind the curve on, like, the ability to communicate. I mean, I suppose it's going to be a good way to train, but fuck me sideways. I speak better. Yes, you do, Lua. Yes, you do. We're both ESL. And I'm pretty sure we're both able to have a conversation at a better level than whatever the fuck this is. And again, English is the second language for both of us.
No, because I think you're epistemically cooked. You're like suggesting that even if a person were to say that he confessed to me.
Cheeto is the quant soldier. Cheeto is not the quant soldier. Cheeto is the tismic being. Cheeto is the man who listens, and Cheeto's in YouTube chat because Cheeto, in spite of what he might say every time I ask, and I ask at least twice a week, he would absolutely love me if I was a worm. And as such, when it is needed to have a proper boyo in the YouTube chat, Cheeto answers the call. Everyone in chat say we love you, Cheeto. I want to see we love you, Cheetos. Flood the on-screen chat. Come on, gang. We can do this together.
You wouldn't use that to raise your likelihood that he actually confessed. That, like, direct testimony. I understand it was hearsay, guys. I understand it was a video.
Yeah.
But he would presumably argue the same thing in court, and he'd be held to it. But in that video, right, that's some evidence, Lance Twiggs saying so, that would raise our probability that it's true, correct?
No, it doesn't raise the probability that it's true. It raises the. It doesn't
affect your priors.
Evidence. Yeah, it provides evidence, but it doesn't mean that it's more true.
Yeah. Okay. So if
what do you think providing more evidence means? Oh, fuck me sideways. Jesus Christ! It provides evidence, but it doesn't make it any more true. Gang, help me out. Why are we here? Just to suffer. Oh, I like this hermit garb. Don't have the shoes, fuck. These will do.
You're a lawyer, wouldn't you know this?
If a woman comes into you and tells you, listen,
it comes into me. What?
Comes into your office, okay? Comes into your office as a police officer, we're going with that, and says, my husband slapped me. Is that evidence that the husband slapped her?
No, that's a testimony. That's testimony that she would. That's what?
Oh Jesus.
Okay, I'm gonna stop asking questions.
Okay,
You can ask me.
No, I'm gonna ask. No, I'm gonna ask. Yes, I'm gonna ask you a question. What?
I feel him.
What did you learn in law school for this?
For what?
What constitutes as evidence? Obviously.
Yeah. So any kind of like object or testimony, right? Testimonial evidence that raises or lowers, a fact of consequence in the matter, right? It's more formal in the context of like trials where you have to introduce something into evidence and submit it to the court, right? But evidence are
exactly. You have to submit evidence into the court, so necessarily.
But there's a colloquial understanding of evidence too, which is like facts and circumstances that would cause a person to. How does she
not understand that testimony is evidence? She doesn't understand anything, just anything at all. She will be confounded, shooketh, thoroughly confused. It's a very rough listen, but it's so much fun. It's just, I love people like this. It reminds me of when I was much younger and when Twitchball was still a thing. There were particular chatters that like they were so... I don't know, Owlish taps into something that makes me just want to observe the shit show instead of evacuate away from it.
Increase or lower the prior regarding a fact of consequence.
So I would assume that if somebody goes to a cop or walks up to somebody and says that so-and-so said XYZ, I wouldn't consider that evidence.
Okay,
I would consider that Okay, is that your response?
Yes, it's my response, yes.
Why am I crazy for thinking that it's testimony rather than evidence?
It's testimonial evidence. It's a type of evidence.
It's what? Testimonial? Okay. I mean, that's fine. If we're going to call it testimonial evidence, sure. But, like, you understand that it doesn't raise...
Yes, it does.
...the probability that it's true.
Sure, it does. Yes, it does.
How does having a testimony of something mean that it's more true than me just walking...
I've also, just to double check, because sometimes you listen to somebody like this and you begin doubting yourself. Testimonial evidence isn't just a thing they've agreed upon in this conversation. It is an actual established concept. It is a thing. It is very much a thing that exists. And also, sorry, I will never in my life react to a raid properly. I did the self-plug. I told you to like, follow, and subscribe and join my Discord. And I don't know if I actually thanked Lona for the raid. Lona, thank you. I hope your stream went splendid, and I hope you're going to enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Mate, fuck me sideways. Oh, God. One of these days I'll get it right.
...up to you and lying.
Because we tend to...
Why would the Jews make trans people if they weren't going to use them in testimony? Now we're asking the big questions. Now, you're on to something, man. You're on to something. Now the big brain's coming in.
Think that people for whom we have no reason to suspect that they are manipulating us or whatever, right? Unless there's some evidence, there's a thing again, that the person has a reputation for untruthfulness, which might undermine that prior, or there's a specific contradiction, or for whatever reason is unreliable. In general, human beings will credit the observations as recounted by other human beings, right? For example,
absolutely.
Do you doubt that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now I'm going to make you bite the most insane.
Do we know, just out of curiosity, is Owlish a leftist, or is she unspecified, independent? Because I'm just trying to figure out, whenever I listen to conversations like this, I wonder how I would approach it, how I would go about this convo. Like, could I maybe get through to this person? And I'm just trying, I wonder if she, if she believes the victim, for example. Because if you believe the victim, then you have to give some credence to the idea that if somebody says something happened, it happened. She's part of the Wick class. At the very least, that's going to be leftist adjacent, though, then, right? That's, it's going to be I would assume, if somebody comes forward and says, hey, I've been, and then tell you something that happened to them, I'm going to assume all of these people would believe the victim, right? Surely. Does she even have enough of an opinion to hold a position? Oh, she has enough of an opinion, mate. If she's got anything, Cable, it's an opinion. God fucking knows I wish she had less of an opinion. Being genuine, she's outside her wheelhouse. I don't even think it's that. I think she's very genuine. I think she's genuinely fucking stupid. Like, descriptively so, not on an insult basis. Like, she is genuinely stupid. That appears to be the case. It's kind of like asking if Kershaw is unspecified or right wing. I think she's okay. Yeah, but you know what I was asking. We got there in the end.
Dana Bullet. The people who testified at the trial.
She's the MAGA voting progressive, Eichmann, possibly MAGA voting.
That the Holocaust happened. Was that evidence?
They were under oath. That's completely different.
God. Yeah. So you could be subject to the penalty of perjury.
You just said that there was different evidence. You just said that there was a different standard for evidence when it came to trial rather than.
No, a different definition of evidence. It's more technical.
Right. So like somebody being under oath would obviously have to tell the truth rather than, and there was absolutely could have been some reason.
Wick class would be liberals, which like left-leaning for sure, but calling them leftists would make leftists mad, so they could pick. It would probably make them mad as well, right? Especially recently. So it's like you can't win no matter what. But at the very least, they would all agree that we believe the victim, right? Absent everything else, you believe the victim. And as such, I do not understand how Owlish does not comprehend that notion. Unless there is like a DGG angle to this, where currently we can't just believe the victim, because just believing the victim lands Destiny on the sex offender registry. So like we can't do that anymore for the time being. Maybe, I don't fucking know.
For Lance Twiggs to lie, right? Because they were in a relationship, so it could have been something sour. Their relationship could have gone south at some point.
Yeah, this is the Candace Owens style of argumentation. Well, it could.
Well, yes, because if you recall, Andrew Wilson's argument was it could have been him because he was wearing the same shoes. Do you understand
what do you
that
think
that's
happened?
not a good argument?
So. What's not a good argument?
Do you understand that it's not a good argument to say that somebody wearing very, very generic shoes?
It's one fact that raises. Campus? It's one fact that raises our inference. So I'll give you an example. If there's like 20 people wearing the same style shirt, same color shirt, and 20 people wearing like let's say a different colored, a red colored shirt, and we know that the person who shot was the red colored shirt.
Wick is voting for MAGA. Is that confirmed, or is that just based on him throwing a shit fit? Because like he threw a shit fit with Kamala Harris as well, but ended up voting for her. So it's just, or did he actually vote for MAGA? Because those would be two different things, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, not to say that shit fit isn't stupid. I was there on Wick's show when he was saying that he's not going to vote for Kamala Harris because he was offended by them switching out Biden. But at the same time, he ended up voting for Kamala Harris. Chris yelled at Wick over Kamala. Wick's position on Kamala Harris was genuinely idiotic, though. No, Wick would not vote MAGA. Wick not voting for MAGA. Yeah, that's. I wouldn't think that he would. I know he could throw a shit fit, and I know that they're loving the hypotheticals currently of like, well, JD Vance or Hassan, but I don't imagine Wick actually voted for MAGA.
As opposed to the other colored shirt. And we know that the person in question, who we think is the suspect, was wearing a red-colored shirt. All else equal, it's not the one thing that proves the case, but it raises our priors, correct? It raises the credence, correct?
It sort of raises the credence as...
It sort of does, or it definitely does?
I mean, what does it lower the probability by?
Oh, she isn't Candace's side diluted.
That's still very, very circumstantial evidence, is it not?
When you say it's very circumstantial, I don't know what you're asking.
So it's not really something that you would build a case off of, right?
It's one fact.
We're going to be charitable in these chats. I like being charitable in general. There's no harm to being charitable, right? And then we can just figure out the details when we have a chance to figure out the details. I don't believe Wick has voted for MAGA. He might sit an election out if blue candidate is DSA, which is still wild, by the way, sitting out. And I see, but that's the thing. I don't know if he would actually sit out an election or if he would end up doing the lesser evil, which is the reasonable thing to do. Like, I know they're shitting on DSA right now, and I understand it's a trendy thing, but I don't know. It would have to actually happen for me to think it will happen. You know what I mean? Like, at least voting-wise, I'm going to give Wick the benefit of the doubt because he ended up falling in line when it was important to fall in line. And attacking Wick because he might not fall in line in the future is just like, I ain't a fucking Nostradamus, you know? I will attack him if he does it. For the time being, it's alright. The day I see the future, though, you lot are fucked.
It's part of the totality of circumstances.
God, the fucking shit I'm gonna get up to as a dictator. Oh.
The description, the original
you just
description,
deal with
which
that
is
by
why...
itself. So we were talking about the shoes, right? You're like, why would he talk about the same colored shoes?
That's what I'm saying, Louis.
Well, because
exactly.
it raises our priors.
No, his argument, that was part of his argument, by the way. That was part of his argument, by the way, that he changed clothes, but...
She can't agree with anything. No, Danny, she's very bad. Either? All right. I'll go with either then, because I'll have a difficulty sticking to one.
...was wearing the same shoes. So he's already eliminated a part of the evidence and already raised the possibility that it wasn't him because he changed his clothes, and then said, well, obviously it was him because he was wearing the same shoes. As if this was a significant this was a significant argument or a significant piece of evidence.
It's a piece of evidence. It's a piece of evidence that helps identify the person. It's not all the thing, but it does improve it, doesn't it? Wait, doesn't it improve it?
No.
Yes or no?
I agree with you somewhere.
So you think a person
100%.
who is matches
Oh my
part
God,
way?
that's a famous piece for yes or no.
You think that a person who, is
that bothers the fuck out of me as well. I've seen debates with Pisco where I really didn't like how abrasive he is. He's so fucking patient with her. Like, holy shit, he's patient with her. And she's going to be slagging him off when he's being so patient.
partway matching the description as opposed to not at all matching the description, that doesn't raise your credence in the person.
Sure, it raises your credence slightly.
Yes, that's all.
It raises your credence slightly.
It's part of the evidence, yeah.
Yeah, it raises your credence slightly as it would like if somebody's wearing a black shirt and you say so-and-so is wearing a black shirt, but what should lower your credence is the fact that the outfit was different, that the clothes were different, right?
Yeah, so like if the clothes are different, all else equal, it lowers our credence, right?
Right. So we're back. We had positive credence and negative credence, and we're back at zero, right?
Right. But if there's now evidence that is put on that he changed clothes, maybe that'll raise the credence. It's all just totality of circumstances, and you're viewing in isolation. It's not helping.
Is there evidence that he changed clothes?
Besides
the observance. So did they find clothes on him?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they found clothes on him when he turned himself in. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, is there any indication that he changed his outfit besides the like speculation surrounding it that he changed clothes? Because there's only speculation, there's no actual solid evidence to indicate that.
What would it take for you to believe that he changed clothes?
I don't think he would either, Diluted.
They would have to positively identify him being not only the person in the stairwell, but the person who got out of the car.
That's what it would take for you to believe he changed clothes? Is some other shit that's not that, like, what? Okay, this is silly.
Well, I mean, positively identifying him as the person.
How would they do that?
In the stairwell is pretty low level evidence, is it not?
Fine.
It places him at the scene.
Ask your question again. Sorry.
So they would have to positively identify him as the person in the stairwell.
Yeah, how would they do that? This is the whole thing, right? Like the whole thing is how do you identify?
That's what I'm saying.
Right, so
that's what I'm saying. Well, no, because identifying him in the stairwell doesn't necessarily mean that he took the shot, right?
I didn't say it necessarily meant that. The question is, does it raise your prior that he did it?
No, because they haven't proven it, right?
No, if they did prove that he was the person or likely to be the person, does it raise your prior?
Well, yes. If they proved that, then yes. but they haven't. That's the problem.
So the way, this is a kind of meta point about Candace. The way Candace argues is very similar to the way that you do, which is like looking, when we're trying to examine what the facts of the matter of a situation are, looking in isolation and asking whether it's possible something else occurred. And the truth is, yes, it is possible something else occurred, right? It's possible, but that doesn't mean that it's likely that something else occurred, and that doesn't mean that. Oh, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I think.
Jesus.
I think honestly, the autopsy report is the biggest point of weakness in the case.
Yeah, tell me about that. Why?
So, the autopsy report, the official autopsy report indicates that he was essentially internally decapitated. I'm not a medical professional, so I can't say, but it said
Cheetah
that
wins.
his cervical,
100% lower.
the cervical spine, or something. Let me just read it. Actually, let me just bring it up, because I don't want to get it wrong. And no, I'm not using AI. I'm going to actually look up the report for those who are probably typing that in chat.
No one typed that in the chat.
I'm just guessing. I'm sure they were about to.
Were you about to chat?
Charlie could. Let's see.
This is the most convincing thing for you, right? And just to be clear, you don't believe that it was a patsy, do you?
No, I don't necessarily believe it was a patsy. I just think that her argument has credence.
I don't like it when people... I don't know if it's... it might be because I spent years watching Destiny. I don't like it when people use language like this. Destiny, the same way how she uses necessarily and the way how Candace Owens uses necessarily, that's the same way Destiny says probably. He has an opinion on something, and he's asked about that opinion, and he will say probably not, or probably yes. But he doesn't mean probably. It's just, it's like a way to deliver that sentence whilst being somewhat absolved of the responsibility of delivering that sentence. It's just unnecessary. Just don't do that. Just say, like, you're not going to get sued. You're all right. Just say what you want to say. Oh, that is a lot of damage.
That's really what I'm going.
The argument has credence?
Yes.
Oh no, she definitely did, Anonymous.
Okay.
100%.
So,
that's the subject of this debate. She absolutely got this from Candace.
Patsy, but something weird happened during that. I'm looking for the official. Do I have to bring up the video so I can read it?
Just use AI, I guess. You can do it. You have permission.
Oh, thank you.
It does it. Giga Chad. 3 AM chatters are scary, true.
No, I'll just bring up the YouTube video because people are just gonna sit here and be like,
what was the general point made about the thing? Like, I don't get it. Like the autopsy showed
that his entire spine was decimated.
Okay, and granted.
So yeah, so his entire spine was essentially decimated, and then there was an argument that was made shortly after his death. Charlie Kirk alley reveals absolute miracle that may have been save lines during fatal shooting. This is something that was produced by Fox News. I'm gonna go ahead and link this to you.
Okay.
So you have a copy of it.
Thank you.
It says, Turning Point USA spokesman Andrew Covert on Saturday said Charlie Kirk's surgeon called it an absolute miracle that the bullet that killed him didn't exit his body because dozens of people were standing behind him when he was shot. I don't even necessarily think that is true.
When that happened, isn't that what started some of those TikTok trends of the angels coming down to pick up Charlie Kirk and him like that being the gift from God that he blocked the bullet with his throat so it didn't fucking kill another 17 people behind? It's weird how Jesus Christ protects Trump by redirecting the bullet into a random firefighter's dome, but doesn't protect Charlie Kirk, but protects the people behind him. It's fucking mysterious ways for the Lord, aren't they?
Okay.
Dozens of people were standing behind him.
Destiny's being sued currently. Yeah, but he's been doing that for years. It's like a language stick for him. It's not to do with the lawsuit. He's always been saying probably and then says his opinion instead of just saying his opinion.
But I'm gonna bring up the actual autopsy report from the video because I want to read it as it's written. I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay, but like, who cares?
And I think this also gives. What do you mean? Who cares?
Who cares if it did whatever to his spine?
True, sire, yeah.
Because that would indicate that he was dead on the scene and he wouldn't have a surgeon.
Oh no.
So because
Like, he was already dead. Like, dead people don't go to surgery, in case you're unaware of that. Mr.
That appears
Kirk,
to be the case, Anonymous. Yeah, they think that at least.
Okay, it says the bullet, or at least part of it, sequentially perforated the anterior left side of Mr. Kirk's neck, strap muscles, and the left side of his neck, and the left common carotid and left internal external jugular veins. So literally, his veins, his jugular was exploded. The bullet also obliterated the left side of the C2-7 vertebrae, transected the cervical spinal cord, so he was internally decapitated. The medical examiner observed that a significant portion of
dead people surgery is called an autopsy. Oh, God.
Mr. Kirk's cervical spinal cord was traumatically absent, meaning that, he would not be alive after that.
Wait,
Kirk survived.
How do you know how long it would take for him to die?
Because if you're internally decapitated, you're instantly dead.
Okay, but then why is that inconsistent with them trying to like resuscitate him or trying to bring him back or trying to do the desperate operation?
Right, so that's another thing.
You'd
That's
think
a
so,
severe
Tobias,
blunder
wouldn't
on
you?
the
You'd
part
think so.
of his team, because and that kind of shows
That's
negligence.
consistent.
That would
But that's
exonerate.
consistent with it being
that
Tyler
could
Robinson.
potentially.
Why does this lower?
Yeah, right.
What does this have to do with it
So that
being
could-
Tyler Robinson, or not?
Well, you understand that even if it was Tyler Robinson, that evidence alone and the fact that they were negligent in transporting him to the hospital without a C collar would be indicative, could possibly exonerate him, because, you know, he could have possibly survived at the scene if they would have actually done the proper thing and waited for
How would that
the ambulance to
exonerate
arrive.
him? So because he might have been saved?
That's not how exonerate
Possibly.
works.
I mean, I would think
That's
based
not
on
the
the
word she's
report that he
looking
would be
for.
dead at the scene. But again, I'm not a doctor, so I can't say for sure. But I would
You're
say
not a doctor. You don't have an MD.
Oh no.
No, I don't have a master's degree. No. Yeah, and fuck you for using an M dash, by the way. You did that on purpose, didn't you?
No, I didn't. All right. I mean, that was
Really?
the strongest
Really?
piece of evidence.
Really?
It's to do with their yesterday debate, Salty, where he was angry that Abdullah Saeed referred to himself as a doctor, so Pisco pulled up his education and told her that he has an MD, and she thought that MD stands for master's degree, so he still shouldn't call himself a doctor. It's, yeah. Yeah, I just... Why do paramedics bother with CPR if there's no pulse, they're already dead? True. It's just... We laugh that this is the world that Pissman wants, but really imagine the world that Owlish wants. Because that is some fucking world, my friend. That is some fucking world.
That was the strongest piece of evidence, was he got internally decapitated. But like, why is that the strongest piece of evidence?
So the reason why I think that would exonerate Tyler Robinson, even if he did do it, or would give him a lesser crime, so he would be exonerated of the or not found guilty, not exonerated, but
yeah,
not
if Charlie
found
Kirk
guilty
didn't
of the
die,
murder
he would not be guilty of murder. But why would it exonerate him? He wouldn't be charged with
I'm
murder
using
if
the
Charlie
wrong
Kirk
word.
This is the world
survives.
that Pissman wants, Mel.
I would be, I think I'm using the wrong term here. I wouldn't say exonerated. I would say that he would probably face a lesser charge, like an
attempted...
I don't know, assault with a deadly weapon, or
attempted murder,
or attempted murder. Yeah, because they improperly moved him. So since there was negligence on the part of his team,
I have no idea, Lua, but
it would
Shido probably
indicate
knows.
that there was a possibility that he could survive, in my opinion. So this is again in my opinion.
Yeah,
Because
but
I'm
why
not a
does
lawyer,
that
I'm not a
raise or lower
doctor.
the probability that he was a patsy, right? Like that is, it seemed okay.
No, that's
True, Bill. How
again
dare they?
that's
How
not my
dare they?
argument that he was a patsy. I'm
So
saying
why
that
is it
Candace
strong?
Owens. Why is it strong?
Evidence. It was
that-
the strongest evidence.
It's the strongest evidence because he wouldn't have because he, number one, the report indicates that he was possibly dead on the scene, so he wouldn't have a surgeon when he got to the hospital to report that his spine was so strong that it stopped the bullet, when there's a report that indicates the complete opposite, that his spine was obliterated.
So you don't think that there was...
I wonder if in her head there's no blood or anything like that. There's no confusion. There's no disagreement between the experts. It's like the board game surgery, you know? It's just they just take a quick glance, they look at it, they move things around, they notice that, you know what, the spine's fucked. That's the official diagnosis, and they just put it back together and move on with their lives.
Listen, I don't know if there was surgery performed, but isn't this a medical examiner looking at stuff?
So the report I sent it to you. The report that I
didn't see it.
The medical examiner
you didn't send
produced the
shit
report.
On Discord?
Did I send it in the wrong chat? Oh yeah, hold on. I sent it in the wrong chat. There we go. I did not send shit. You're correct. So it says that Turning Point USA spokesman Andrew Colvett, I will just read it again, on Saturday said that Charlie Kirk's surgeon called it an absolute miracle that the bullet that killed him didn't exit his body, which is weird. Like, that's another thing. Like, either his autopsy was done by a surgeon, which I can't really say if a surgeon does an autopsy. I don't know.
Why?
But I would find it odd.
Then why question it? What happened to good old Googling? I'm gonna beat up this fat fuck right here in the video game, and then I'm gonna do the Googling. I'm gonna do the Googling that she figured she's too good for, and just decided to have a debate first. Let's just a quick test. Time me, chat. Do surgeons do autopsy? Autopsies are usually performed by a specialized medical doctor called a pathologist. Only a small portion of this, so this is just off of Wikipedia. Only a small portion of deaths require an autopsy to be performed under certain circumstances. In most cases, a medical examiner or a coroner can determine the cause of death. So it seems not to be the typical thing for a surgeon to do it. So why not just Google it and then ask Pissman for a follow-up? He's got a big audience. Probably someone in there knows a thing or two about whether surgeons do or do not do autopsies, and they can just confirm it. Just Google things. It's not illegal, not frowned upon. I mean, shit, in the age of AI, if you Google things, I immediately think more of you. I think this is an enemy. Yeah, it was an enemy. Fucking domed him, didn't I?
Odd if a surgeon did do an autopsy, and again, I don't know if they do, and I'm not going to make any affirmative statement as to whether or not that's true. I want to address some of the discussion of the lack of exit wound with Charlie. I'm not usually interested in delving into most kind of online chatter, and I apologize, this is somewhat graphic, but in this case, the fact that there was an exit wound is probably another miracle, and I want to show people that
might have been a heart attack. If you really think about it, what got Charlie Kirk is the blood loss. If he had infinite blood, I don't know, maybe maybe it would grow back and whatnot.
The executive producer Charlie Kirk show wrote in a lengthy post on X. So he was saying that there was no exit wound, but it seems that, like, according to the medical report, there possibly was, because his cervical spine was missing, is what they said, and there's only one way that it would be missing, and that's if it exited his body, right?
So you're saying that it's like it's implausible that he would have survived long enough to have surgery.
Yeah, that's one thing.
And what are you basing this off of?
The fact that he was internally decapitated, but also in the same vein, if he was able to survive it.
So are you? Has there been expert evidence to suggest that no one could survive long enough to?
Is that an actual thing? Internal decapitation? Because I assumed decapitation means your head got cut off. I didn't think that can be internal.
Get to the hospital and have emergency surgery? What's the evidence that you're relying on?
Well, that proves negligence on the part of
whether it does or doesn't.
Team,
what's the medical evidence that you have at your disposal to suggest that there would not be emergency surgery performed in such a circumstance because of the timeline.
A significant portion of Mr. Cook's cervical
Reuters, citing
spinal
the university
cord.
spokesperson, stated he underwent surgery.
Right, and I don't believe that. That's why I'm saying that there's
Why,
holes in the
though?
story that should.
Why is that a hole?
Well, what would he have surgery on? Like, they can't replace his cervical spine.
Yeah, they maybe don't know the full extent of the injury until they're doing the surgery. Maybe they thought that there was some crazy thing they could try to do. I'm not a doctor.
Course.
You're not.
That just makes so much sense, though, that they would try desperately, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But you try, right? It's the same reason why, like, they'll fucking keep doing CPR in an ambulance, right? Because they will try to save your life. Unfortunately for Owlish, internal decapitation isn't an automatic death sentence 100% of the time. I don't even think that's unfortunate per se, Chido, because she's a walking example of the fact that you can be untethered from your own brain, and that is not going to impede your ability to have a conversation. It might impede your ability to have a good conversation, but you can certainly yap your way through it. Because god damn, this is rough. This is rough to listen to. You might want to fact check anything Owlish says, but I do think severing the neck from the head is a decapitation, even if the skin is still attached. I don't know. Yeah, fact checking anything that she says is just good advice in general. But it looks like I've just been confirmed by a chatter that it is in fact a thing, so I'm good with that, you know.
A doctor either.
I'd expect
so what's the evidence you
Right,
have?
so
higher
it
level
says-
of scrutiny in a proper debate.
It says
but,
missing, not injured,
shit.
right?
Huh? What says missing? The bullet?
Missing. A significant a significant portion of Mr. Kirk's cervical spinal cord was traumatically absent.
I don't understand if that's responsive. I'm saying, what is the basis to believe that the kind of wound that Kirk suffered wouldn't allow surgery to be performed or make it implausible?
I would say that because he was already dead. And you don't really do surgery on dead people.
Well, maybe they were trying to do like last minute emergency surgery.
Isn't there shit where you can be like, it seems like you're clinically dead, but you're actually not? I know for a fact that this was a plot point in a, I don't know if I'd call it a documentary per se, but it did happen in Doctor Strange, right? Do you remember that scene from Doctor Strange where they say that the guy's got a bullet lodged in his head and that releases fucking ammonia or whatever and it shuts down the nervous system so he pops up as dead but he ain't dead? And I feel like if Doctor Strange, I feel like Doctor Strange is more reliable than Owlish, so I'm very stuck in here. So is it ideal? Perhaps not. But can we use it? Perhaps yes. I found a clickbait article that's kind of wild. His physique acted like a barrier. The doctor reportedly said it was an absolute... Okay, hold on. I need to kill this guy before he kills me, and then I'm reading that fucker. It's not even a difficult enemy. I don't know why the fuck I'm struggling. Okay. I found a clickbait article that's kind of wild. His physique acted like a barrier, the doctor reportedly said. It was an absolute miracle. He saved everyone by absorbing what should have torn through. As America grapples with this posthumous heroism, one question burns. Was Charlie Kirk destined to be more than a leader? A literal shield in his final breath. True, because the bullet would have scattered into 75 fragments and it would have killed 11 people and 2 children and a puppy otherwise. As September 22nd dawns, Charlie Kirk's legacy endures, not just as agitator, but savior. His body defying physics, yeah, with that fucking head shape it certainly did. Spared innocence. Why him? Perhaps to remind, in Division's crossfire, one man's stand can protect many. What if your next debate, your next step becomes eternal? Charlie Kirk's final act whispers, lead boldly. You might just save the world. Whoever the fuck was, whoever was writing that up was high as the ever-loving fuck. You know they were. The Crimson Neck hero we deserved. Shit like this is why... Okay, You guys know that I'm Polish. Those of you who don't know that I'm Polish, I am Polish. There was a thing that happened in Poland when our Pope died. Ages ago. Our Pope died at 9 p.m., 37 minutes past 9 p.m. And for a while after his death, the sort of religious extremist branch of our government and just the populace in general wanted to almost like mythologize the hour 9:37, and they were doing it to an extent so pervasive that memes ended up being born out of it. And now in a lot of video games and in a lot of places, whenever 9:37 p.m. hits in Poland, people say that that's godzina papieżowa. And they meme about it because it's funny. And it's not because they take joy in the fact that the Pope died, but just because the other side was being so fucking idiotic in their honoring of the Pope that it just became funny. And that's exactly what happened with Charlie Kirk. All of the memes, all of the fucking Kirkification of AI, all of that shit happened solely because people were trying to overblow his death. Just, do you guys remember that Kershaw wanted to get people fired because they said that Charlie Kirk was no Martin Luther King, and she felt like that was good enough to get them fired from their job? That's just pathetic.
And how do you know he was dead at the time that the bullet hit at the scene?
He was a Chad, he was.
The
Pope, to be clear, not Charlie Kirk.
His cervical spinal cord was traumatically absent.
Yeah, that doesn't say that he died on the scene. He was pronounced dead at the hospital, I believe.
So the cervical spinal cord is the top part of your spinal cord. It sits inside your neck and has 7 neck bones plus 8 nerves. It sends signals between your brain, your face, neck, arms, and chest.
I don't remember if he made one somewhere, but
yeah,
I know he
I would
partook in the one that was made.
He was pretty decapitated.
You would assume he was pretty decapitated. But why is that inconsistent with him surviving long enough to make it to surgery before dying?
I would wonder why they would, well, with any neck injury, I would wonder why they would move him without a C-spine, or
you may wonder that, but what's the evidence that it's implausible that he would have survived long enough for surgery to happen, and they would have thought it was so futile that they don't even...
Hold on, I need to bring us back a few minutes because I'm not sure. I wasn't following this. My mind was still with the Polish Pope.
Yeah, that doesn't say that he died on the scene. He was pronounced dead at the hospital, I believe.
So the cervical spinal cord is the top part of your spinal cord. It sits inside your neck and has 7 neck bones plus 8 nerves. It sends signals between your brain, your face, neck, arms, and chest. Yeah, I would assume that he was pretty decapitated.
You would assume he was pretty decapitated.
Out of I wonder about a thing. There is a thing about this specifically that I wonder about. Doctors have an oath, right? Like an oath that they will like try the hardest, do no harm. Or I don't know all the bullshit they say. The point is that they have an oath to try to help you. If like the order came from higher up that even though the bloke's missing his head, they have to perform surgery, are they even in a position to disagree with that, or do they just have to perform the surgery at that point? Because I don't know what the rules and shit are like. And I don't know why this is such a major point that, like, oh, how could they have performed a surgery on a guy who was effectively decapitated? Like, I don't fucking know, but am I surprised? Pull up the clip, he's insta-dead. I mean, I've watched the clip. The point is that we're laymen, right? We don't determine whether someone is or isn't dead. That's for the doctors, for the surgeons, for the whoever the fuck is gonna determine that he's dead. Because otherwise, I don't know. I don't know if a surgery could be performed to I don't know if he's just dead or if he's passed out, if it's blood loss or just decapitation. I don't fucking know. I just saw the dude's head jump and I knew that he got shot. I saw the blood spilling out. I remember us talking about it in Discord saying that, like, he's definitely dead. But, like, I'm not a fucking specialist. I don't know. In what world could I know?
But why is that inconsistent with him surviving long enough to make it to surgery before dying.
I would wonder why they would. Well, with any neck injury, I would wonder why they would move him without a C-spine or. I'm
You
sorry,
may wonder that, but what's the evidence
C-collar?
that it's implausible that he would have survived long enough for surgery to happen, and they would have thought it was so futile that they don't even attempt it? Yeah, they tried.
Shit, another point of thinking about this, but this is we're veering further and further away from like the core subject matter, and more I'm just exploring possibility. If you were the police or FBI or whoever the fuck, and you had an active shooter on stage at a highly politicized point in American history, would you not want to lie potentially and say that no, Charlie Kirk's in surgery? Would you not want to do the whole Temple, oh my god, sources tell me Charlie is stable, please Lord, in order to lower the chances of other people coming after that person for a little bit of cheeky vigilante justice? Just to make sure that you can have something resembling a clean investigation? I'm thinking of so many different ways in which it could be reasonable, even if he is dead, to maintain that, like, no, he needs to be treated and needs to be considered not to be dead. And I don't even know if he was dead right off the bat. Takes a while for your heart to stop beating, even if you aren't going to make it, so they probably just have to try. That's what I'm thinking, Bill, yeah. There would be a head clinician that would discuss it with their lawyers to determine what the legal responsibility is. Someone has to have authority to call it. Yeah, so, and I'm assuming until that call is made, you do what you can to save them, right? None of this is reality-based. Owlish is just saying things. Owlish do be just saying things.
To save JFK.
I mean, we don't have...
He had a big hole in his fucking head.
No, neck. Not head.
JFK?
Big brain.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Head. I'm sorry, I misheard you. I was reading this.
Yeah, I don't think that you have.
Hi,
I think it's fine to say that, like, you don't have evidence that it would.
I don't have necessarily have evidence, and I think that I would have evidence if they actually contacted medical professionals in this case and not shoved him in a vehicle and drove to the hospital.
What the fuck were they supposed to do?
Yeah.
Wait for the EMTs like most normal people would do. The people who actually are trained and paid to perform medical assistance.
So, like, you're holding it against them that they instantly went and tried to get him to the hospital as fast as possible?
Yes, because his team.
Didn't you just say that he would have died on the scene anyway, no matter what?
It's right. I would.
I mean, fuck me. I'm just assuming, wouldn't the logic have been some version of the ambulance would have to get here and then there, and we can get him there quicker? Just like plausibly, right? Because I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. It doesn't seem like a particularly smart thing to do, but what the fuck do I know? I've never been witness to somebody getting the fucking neck blown off. That's uncharted territory for me. We don't even have guns here in Poland. Well, no, we have guns. We even get a gun controversy now and then. We just had one not too long ago. There was a shooting instructor who was waving his shotgun around and he shot another shotgun instructor right in his fucking asshole. Just precisely in his bumhole. Proper hilarious, but also incredibly sad. And with a shotgun. Imagine you're a fucking shooting range instructor with a shotgun, and another shooting range instructor with a shotgun shoots you in your bumhole. Fucking, that's gotta be a noof.
Assume yes, but again, I've stated this a couple of times. I'm not a doctor. I can't say for sure. But the fact that his cervical spinal cord was missing or absent would, to me, indicate that. But again, being that his team would have had some like elementary training or some like training on this, they would know to not move somebody with a neck injury. That's kind of like 101. Medical assistance 101.
Yeah, maybe they don't know that if it's assuming it's medical 101. I just don't know, like, so why does that do anything? Well, how does that prove or like lower the inference that like Patsy stuff or not Tyler Robinson?
Hey, BB,
I would say because I mean I keep making the argument that that's not necessarily my argument.
So what are you trying to say?
So the circumstances around his death and the fact that it seemed unusual would kind of indicate that there could be other lies associated, right?
So like the team's in
So
on it or something.
No, I don't think that the team is in on it. I think that the fact that the surgeon could have potentially lied because you don't perform, there's no
could have,
medical...
you just mean
You think that the odds are not that the team was in on it, but that the surgeon lied? That's what you think is more probable out of the two? The fucking surgeon's in on it too? Jesus. Fucking Israel, man. They get to everyone, don't they? When there is an active shooter, you probably can move people. Yeah, true. Also true. Jesus, yeah, I didn't even consider the fact that it's not like the guy was apprehended. At that point, you've got the cunt still presumably on the roof, still shooting people. Absolutely true, Cheeto. God bless.
that like
There's no...
it's possible
right,
he could
but
have.
you would
The
think...
surgeon could have lied.
So like when he
didn't.
got to the hospital, there would have been triage. Why wouldn't they present the triage report?
Who?
Like,
Why
it's
would
the
they
surgeon...
meaning TPUSA or the surgeon?
The surgeon... Well, you wouldn't have a surgeon until you go through triage, right?
Are you a doctor? I thought you said you don't have any medical experience. I don't fucking know.
You don't know that when you go to the hospital, like, you go through triage first? You don't immediately go to a surgeon?
I have no fucking clue.
Your vitals have to be taken. I mean, maybe I'm being ignorant of the situation, but I would
I'm
assume
not a
that
doctor,
you would,
and I don't know
you
what
would
the fuck this
immediately
has to do with, like, with who shot the gun.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with who shot the gun. What it indicates is that there is circumstances surrounding the case that are highly suspicious and
That's highly suspicious.
Irregular. Yes.
Plagued.
It is suspicious to me that somebody from Turning Point USA would make a comment about a surgeon who was not named, saying that his neck was so strong it stopped the bullet when the autopsy indicates otherwise.
I mean, again, there might have been so many different reasons. Propaganda amongst them as well, no? Fucking, you never miss a chance to make this into a good story.
Do you believe that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk?
I do think that, yes. I do think that. But again, the evidence does not necessarily indicate that, which is why I'm saying that Candace Owens...
Yeah, when she says it does not necessarily indicate that, she means that there is another plausible explanation. Which she doesn't believe in, to be clear. You gotta remember that, chat. She does not believe in this alternative explanation. It's just there could be one.
Her argument has credence, right? That's what my argument is, and that's...
that her statements of truth are backed up. I mean, she's basically pointing out, like, well, what about this? What about that? Like, asking questions, but, like, not providing a justification.
I am mad at her, BB. You're saying that you're not mad at her because it's a lot of nothing with some basic sense. I'm mad at the fact that she can't articulate any of that basic sense. Diz literally called in earlier just to say that, like, she's so far behind the curve that when she's talking about the fingerprints, she's unable to explain that the reason why it makes no sense why his fingerprints were the least clear ones is because other people have had their fingers on the trigger after the kid who is alleged to have shot him. And she's just like, she was legitimately unable to do that. Just, nope. Just not possible to do. Too big a question, you know? We're asking for too much.
For her claim of
How about I
being
turn
a
it back on
patsy.
you and ask you why you think that Andrew Wilson had a more compelling argument?
Listen, I think he did really bad, but he at least pointed to things that should compel people. For example, things that should compel people. Confessions, multiple confessions, all right? And I believe, I credit Lance Swiggs. I don't have any reason to doubt him. And I credit the tech forensic people who looked at the phone and determined that it was Tyler Robinson who messaged Lance. I think that makes sense, that there's no other evidence that anyone else had the phone. And so I assume, based on the fact that no other evidence of the contrary has occurred, that it was, in general, when you send messages from your device, it's you, right? It raises the credence, in other words. That's pretty compelling. Then the fact that the gun is connected to him in any respect, that's pretty compelling, right? Of all the guns, it's a gun that's connected to him. That raises, your prior there. And then in terms of like, I don't know if
is
Andrew
she actually
specifically
someone,
cited.
or is that just an assumption?
Let me just think of other things that Andrew was talking about. The fact that the parents refused to speak out. If they truly were involved here in this process, and there are assertions on the record that he also told the parents, right? And then he was talking to the parents, and the kind of statements like, oh, I want to kill myself, or all that stuff. Those are the kinds of statements that someone who's guilty would state. And the kinds of statements that a parent who knows them to be lies would repudiate, right? These are all things that are obvious and should be obvious to human beings. Now, did Andrew do the best job of laying them all out? Should Andrew have prepared more, right? Prepared more than I know right now about like all the evidence on offer? Absolutely, yes. He was
also, this is purely subjective because this is just me. But isn't there a soft confirmation from his father that like he can imagine that his son has done this? Or am I making shit up? Can somebody confirm? Because I do not remember if there was one or if there wasn't. If there was, if I'm thinking correctly, that's not... I wouldn't say this is in the way of evidence, but it's just subjectively funny to me. Because if I killed someone, fucking shot them up with a rifle, and you have me in 4K video footage where I identify myself afterwards and show you my ID, and you asked my mum if I had done it, she would be coming up with so many reasons why I didn't, and she'd give me so many alibis, and she would like literally look the policeman in the eye and tell him 3 different places that we were at that exact same time without giving a flying fuck about perjuring herself. And the fact that his dad was immediately like, yeah, he's done this, it's just, it's funny to me. My mum's absolutely unhinged in this way. I could do no wrong. None of my siblings could. It's just, if we would do something to one another, then like, yeah, fair enough, that's bad. But if we're doing something to like an outsider, so to speak, then nah, she's gonna run defense no matter what it is.
Walking into a debate where he should have had way more instant recall of facts and not be like sort of squirrely like he was. That said, Candace had fucking nothing. Literally nothing. There was no reasonable inference that she could offer that increased the tendency or the likelihood of her claim. That's why Andrew wins on substance. But again, he did a really bad job.
I think that the presentation of his evidence was just as circumstantial, because
what does that mean? Really just as circumstantial. What does that mean? Just as circumstantial.
What I find
that's the second time you said that. The second time you said that. What do you mean when you say just as circumstantial?
I'm about to answer.
No, I would love to circumstantial is this.
I would love to answer if you let me talk. Thank you.
Now I see where Chris's lack of general accountability comes from. I am insanely accountable for my own behavior, so much that I take accountability even when I'm not necessarily to blame. And that will continue until I've become the dictator and I've taken over Poland, and then holy shit, man. There's gonna be, from that moment onwards, oof. Literally everyone's gonna be happy with my rule, because everyone who's not happy is gonna be locked up. She thinks circumstantial means weak. I think she thinks circumstantial means when you cut off the tip of your dick. I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point, I don't think she's like up to date with a lot of these words. Circumstantial is when they remove the skin from the PP. On God, for real.
Thing is the fact that they purport.
What does just as circumstantial mean?
Because they're equally circumstantial, right?
What does it mean to be equally circumstantial? You're saying that they're equal likelihood?
The evidence was neither evidence was indicative of guilt. How about that?
That's crazy you say that. You don't think confessions are indicative of guilt?
No, again, and I'm gonna state this.
I wish she didn't state this.
The confessions were not tied directly to Robinson.
The hell they weren't.
And what do you mean the hell they weren't?
His phone, his statements as attested to by Lance Twiggs, his parents not speaking out. They're tied to him.
Speaking out about what?
About but the claims made in the indictment regarding him having confessed to them. It's tied. The confessions are tied to him.
Which is kind of suspicious, considering that the reason he left home in the first place was because he fundamentally disagreed with his parents. So you would think that if he did something wrong, his parents would have some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? They would have some kind of
just one. You're looking for just
malice
one word
towards him, and would want to
Isn't
get
it
him.
fucking language you need?
Would want to
Why
report
would you
him.
think that?
So again, I'm gonna say this because you're not letting me finish. But what's interesting about Lance is that they purported that I'm gonna use her proper pronouns, that she was trans, but during the court hearing, and you yourself,
Luna,
are referring to her as he. So if she was trans, and that was a major point of contention that was brought up by the Trump administration politically.
Pretty sure Pisco
Why
just
all
doesn't
of a
know.
sudden, unless she detransitioned, which is always a possibility, but that talking point kind of dropped as soon as the evidentiary hearing. By the way, according to some sources, she changed her name to Luna. I don't know if officially she did that, but she preferred to be referred to as Luna.
I don't require it to be official.
So again, that's evidence that was either untrue.
Not only has she been doing it the whole time, wasn't she the first person to have brought that name up? Might not have been, I'm not sure, but the bottom line is that both of these people have been saying it. The only problem is that up until now, we were operating under the assumption that neither one of them knows. Now it looks like she did know. So I was completely incorrect in my earlier assertion that I'm just giving both of them, well no, I was correct to give both of them benefit of the doubt. We literally didn't know. But I was incorrect in my assumption that they are both doing it because they just don't know. It looks like Owlish does know. That's so much worse.
Or, yeah, it was evidence that's untrue that was never addressed again.
Whether she's trans, they're trans.
She said that was was that not a major point brought up by
people were
news
saying
media?
that Lance was a furry. And I think that there was evidence that like they went by a different name, like a female name.
Yes, Luna.
Yeah, but I just don't understand. Like, is there an inconsistency?
Yes, they purported her to be a trans furry.
Okay, so then what's the inconsistency?
During the trial, they referred to her as him, despite her being trans.
Yeah, that could be explained by them just being like not very woke on pronouns, right?
But bigoted, just any.
You would think that during the court hearing.
Plus, also, Chido, can you please confirm what you said earlier in the Discord, that there was a specific? Oh no, sorry, you said it earlier in the YouTube chat. There was a specific filing in which her lawyers have specified that they want to refer to her as she. Is that correct? Did I see that? Did I see that message earlier correctly? Chido. He's gonna find the exact message and he's gonna paste it in here again. You'll see. So good to have a Chido. He's so cool. So cool. Absolute fucking boyo. We love Chido up in this house. Chido. Probably too serious a matter for me to do the Chido chant. But I really like Chido. I'm assuming we're going to get that in just a moment. In his ruling, 4th District Court Judge... Fucking did that emote that on purpose. Tony Graff used the name Lance Twiggs and he/him pronouns. The defense, however, in its filing states that Twiggs' chosen name is Luna and uses she/her pronouns. Twiggs has since moved out of the state. Not a fan of the judge emote name changing. I'm sorry that happened, but it adds a level of levity here that I think we can all appreciate. So it's Luna.
In which they were trying, or I'm sorry, it's not a court hearing. That the evidentiary hearing...
It is a court hearing. It's a hearing in a court.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is a court hearing. That the court hearing, they would refer to her as her correct pronouns, or bring that up as a point at all, or like it was never brought up again,
Possibly
as far as
someone,
I know.
wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe because it's like that they don't feel the need to use preferred pronouns, or maybe because there's it's not something that they need for the purposes of determining probable cause.
Well, like no, it's not. Fact. It's right. It's not necessarily like a major indicator of guilt, but it's something else that could be substantive to indicate that the case is not being litigated.
I'm just getting more triggered, so the way it was first. We should move off of this. I can't believe this is your real opinion.
What? You're getting triggered about what?
Everything you're saying.
About what?
Like, this is compelling to you at all. Oh, they didn't use her pronouns appropriately, and therefore they lied about her being trans, even though I'm going to use her preferred pronouns, so I believe she's trans. Like,
but also, I've dead-named the fuck out of her throughout this conversation.
Being that you would have some experience in court, would you say that I'm incorrect about this?
About what? I don't even know what you're asking.
Would they use the pronouns of somebody who was trans, the proper pronouns?
I'm not sure. I'm sure people would do differently. I've never had a case with a trans person. I'll just put it out there. So I don't know the usual decorum in a Utah state court about pronoun usage. I don't know that.
Perfectly reasonable.
Okay. The reason I brought this up wasn't because it changes anything about the case, but it's another anomaly that may or may not indicate that there's reason to believe that the case is, another piece of evidence to suspect.
It's an anomaly? Why is it an anomaly?
It's an anomaly because it's something that was stated officially during the initial hype around it and it was never talked about again. Right? Or it's not that it wasn't talked about again, but then the evidence would suggest otherwise or whatever. So like it's all of the little pieces of evidence adding up together that would kind of give Candace's argument some credence. And to be clear, I'm going to say this again,
because I ain't seen
so I'm not clipped out of context. I do believe that Tyler Robinson could have shot Charlie Kirk. I don't part blank believe that he couldn't have done it, right? Because he definitely could have done it. But I'm saying that Candace Owens also has a point in saying that maybe the evidence isn't there to necessarily indicate that he 100% did it. Can you agree that maybe that could be the case?
By could be the case, you mean it's logically possible?
Yes.
I think it's logically possible, whatever you just said.
You think it? Okay. So then why are you calling me crazy?
Because just because something is logically possible,
I do wonder why he's calling me crazy, yeah.
Good reason.
What?
It's logically possible that I jump to the moon right now.
No, it's not logically possible that you jump to the moon. No, that is not a logical thing to think.
That's just what it means.
That is not that is not logic. No, that is logically impossible.
Doesn't contain a contradiction.
It is not logically possible for you to defy gravity. That is not a logical thing that somebody with a working cerebellum would believe.
Should have had a Shido in chat. I don't want to share. Oh, Rootsy. I had a question for you earlier. Oh, I appreciate the DMs. When you say legally, do you mean that in the technical sense, or do you mean that in the she's very difficult to listen to sense? But no, Rootsy, now that we have you here, I had a question for you. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you like me, Rootsy? Where 10 is like absolutely love, favorite streamer, and number 1 is absolute dogshit human being, I hate you. Like a quick 1 to 10, where does your heart lead you? Solid 12, that's good enough. You are now a Johnny in YouTube. Thank you. Love you. You are hereby added to the team. Welcome. If anyone misbehaves, fucking bonk 'em right off the bat. There you go. That was quick. Let me catch up on chat a little bit. That was a dodgy boss fight. Also, fucking wild that Owlish just admitted to the fact that she knew about the quote unquote nuance of the transness, for lack of a better way to phrase it, and she still decided to dead name the living fuck out of this person. Have you seen me losing my shit in Pisco's chat? Do you know that I actually did a few times earlier? I saw your name pop by. I didn't see the exact messages, but I saw your name. Should have had a Cheeto in chat. I don't know if I said, but I say no. I don't want to share Cheeto. Chris, that statement you've read said that no, when Cheeto was saying it wouldn't have been it's Luna, right? Luna, and moved out of state means, I'm assuming contextually, out of the state of Utah, not out of the state of transness. We can clarify, but I'm very contextually feeling strongly about the fact that moving out of state means Utah here. He keeps using the jump to the moon as a logic example. Yeah, I don't that one rubbed me wrong. But it's also like Owlish is a pretty helpless case. I don't know how Owlish is just a pretty helpless case.
Like, I'm sorry, like that's
I no longer advocate for spanking the court here either. How did packing get corrected to spanking? I don't know, but I'm sticking with spanking. Bill the Clockman does not want to spank the court anymore, chat.
crazy. That's a crazy statement.
So,
like, if you think that that's logical, I would question your credibility altogether.
So I'd agree jumping to the moon violates the laws of physics. It's contradictory with the laws of physics, but it doesn't contain within it a inherent contradiction.
It does. It does, because number one,
I don't know if it does or if it doesn't. I just know that it was a stupid fucking example.
You can't jump that high physically. Number two, you're defying the laws of physics. Number three, if you jump to the moon,
never mind. She took it back. She took it back. Oh, he was, for a split second, he was on the back foot, and then and nope, never mind. Oh, the world orders itself.
You would instantly die because there's no oxygen in space. So again, I don't want to get caught again with a pedantic argument, but I will be pedantic if that's. I will be pedantic if that's going to be if that's going to be the hill you die on, or the moon you die on, I guess.
All I'm saying is claiming that, asserting that something is possible is like not a good reason to believe it, right? It's possible that Trump himself killed him, right?
No.
What's
I don't think that at all.
What's the contradiction?
He was busy having a stroke. He was busy having a stroke.
So it's impossible that it was Trump.
Yeah, I would say that it's impossible that it was Trump because he can't jump from a roof without dying.
What if the real Trump that you've been seeing has been a decoy the whole time? Is that possible?
A decoy of what?
Is it possible that Trump has been getting an experimental super serum and they have it like this old guy pretend to be Trump? And meanwhile, he's been training and becoming an assassin. Is that possible?
Who is getting the super serum?
Trump, the real Trump.
Why? Okay, so then why would Trump is getting the super serum? So there's an old guy. Okay, no, I don't. No, this is stupid.
What's impossible?
I will say, though, at this point, it's objectively Cheeto. Jesus, I was about to slag Cheeto off for no reason. Oh, no. I'm so sorry, buddy. At this point, it is objectively Pisco that's in the wrong. If for no other reason than because he's had 4 separate cases of evidence in conversation with her that she does not grasp hypotheticals. at some point you have got to stop engaging her on them because she is not there with you, man.
This is stupid. Why are we talking about this now?
Imagine if she's the mastermind troll.
Because
I'm not going to be made out to be a fool.
He's got me,
it's
if that's the
demonstrative
case,
of the
Mel.
fact that, like,
He's got me.
just saying something's possible doesn't really give you a good reason to believe it.
Nothing you said so far has been possible.
What's the contradiction?
That's why super serums don't exist.
How do you know? What if they just hide in the super serum?
Who is hiding the super serum?
The government.
Wow, you sound like Candace Owens. What if the what if Tyler Robinson was given the super serum? Oh my god, and he turned into 2 different people, and then like fucking Naruto fucking copied himself into 1,000 copies, and then each one of them
Kagabunshi no
I
jutsu,
don't know,
you
like,
fucking
what
uncultured
are we
swine,
talking
but
about
okay.
right now? What's going on?
I don't know. Can we move off of this? Because I'm getting more and more triggered. I feel like it'll be better if we just change topics for just a little bit.
What do you want to? Okay, so what do you mean change?
You said you wanted to talk to me
How are you doing?
about after our last conversation.
He is not smart. Do you mean
right.
Pisco?
So I wanted to.
Because
I know-
in fairness, in this conversation, he might as well be a fucking genius. Plus, Pisco's a pretty smart dude overall. I don't remember seeing case of like Pisco being stupid. Abrasive, like unpleasant to listen to for sure, but stupid? I wouldn't say so.
I wanted to talk to you about your fucking insane ass chat. Like, what is going on? Like, why do you have these people in your community?
Oh, are we doing the community thing where you're like ban people who are mean to me?
It's not that they're being mean to me. It's the
If I
fact
banned
that
people in my community who are mean to me, I would be left with no mod chat. Fucking tragic state of affairs.
they're actually just like making shit up about me that isn't true. That's being mean is one thing. Completely fabricating things to say in chat is just like completely is a completely different thing.
Was it a joke or was there like a fake assertion? That
You
was,
haven't
like,
seen the slurs he calls me in DMs.
No, there's been a couple of fake assertions, but what I generally want to do is I want these people to actually confront me, you know, in VC or on stream, because I figure like if you're gonna say things about me, you might as well say it to my face and not be a keyboard warrior. So I'm trying to call people out for that.
Oh yeah, we were gonna like go through people that were to be called out, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 a.m. Is it 3 a.m.? Yes, it's 3:36 a.m.
You had a few chatters in
EST.
mind, right?
Yeah, or any of them. Hold on, let me see if any of them are in chat right now.
Wasn't Direful Pot one of them?
Yes, or yes, Direful. Yeah. was one of them.
Direful Pot, are you in there?
I'm looking at chat right now.
I thought I saw Direful Pot before.
Direful, show your face. Get on stream. Argue with me.
What did they say?
They just say all sorts of bullshit to me. They call me like all sorts of things, and they just say like I'm like I don't know. I just feel like that people who say these sorts of things should just confront me directly. Oh, Benji.
Who's Benji? Benji 7085?
Yeah, Benji is one of the people who went through and.
Is Polak a slur? Because I mean it is, but I don't put it like very highly on the slur list. To be fair, myself, I have a profound opinion on slurs. I love slurs. Slur slinging is magical of an experience. I don't think the word itself is as much of a problem as how you're going to use that word being a problem. But the word itself was sort of coined as a slur. It's just the at least phonetically, Polak is a Polish person in Polish. So the idea was to take a word which basically just describes my existence as a Polish person and turn that into a slur because my people are a less than. But if there's a condensed milk brand called that, I think we can go out on a limb and assume that it's not because of their hatred of Poland. I'm not familiar with condensed milk and how they ride, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and just think that there's something else going on there, you know? Is himbo a slur? It's not a slur. I mean, it could be potentially, but by itself, no. Yeah, like that, someone. That'd probably be a that'd be a slur at that point. Unless you were talking to me lovingly, right? In that case, we're back to the new ones.
Gathered all of my information to give to Snarker so that they could cover me 24/7.
Oh, okay.
You
But
should
let's
have
not do drama
tried
stuff. I don't want
harder
drama. I meant like on the substance.
Yeah, Benji is one of those people that's. Do you understand that the drama was okay? Yeah, there's Direful.
What did Direful say?
Oh, Direful is awful in chat. So Direful, why don't you hop in? Why don't you? I can add you to the call. No
She's
proof
not
of this, by the
answering,
way,
is
to Benji. And then that's fine. I just have like a hundred screenshots.
Okay,
of
I
me
don't
doing
want to
that,
do
but-
drama shit, but like about you specifically, what have like about your claims or about in my chat?
Because they sit there and chat and just talk shit to me constantly and won't actually hop on.
Unfortunately for Chris, he has soy mods. Nah, that's not unfortunate. I balance you lot out. Plus, we're leftists, right? We're gonna get soy at times. So it is what it is. Just a fact of life, isn't it?
The stream and debate me.
On what?
Confront me to my face. Prove
About
that I'm
what?
the idiot that you say I am.
Oh.
Are you defending your community just being total assholes?
She does not
No,
understand
they
what
suck.
about what means. Genuinely
Then why do you have them in your
confounded.
community? That's like a reflection of you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Like if you're fostering a community that is just like toxic towards people, like what if somebody wants to join your community, right? They're a viewer and they want to become a member of the, I don't know, Piss Force. I'm not sure what.
The
Peace
Piss
Corps.
Call them-
Force. Hell yeah.
Peace Corps, the Peace Corps, or Peace Corps
No.
Nation, you know.
No, the Piss Force. I love that. That is so much better. The Piss Corpse. Come on. Pisco Nation. What is this, bro? The Piss Force. Let's fucking go. That's a banger name for a community. Just the Pissers, you know? That's just strong.
Peace
Okay,
Cojitos.
okay, that's right. If people are being awful to people in chat, why would they want to join your Discord or be a part of your community?
Hey, in fairness, I'm not a part of Pisco's community. I've never interacted with him in my life. I've no plans of interacting with him at any point soon. Not that I'm against it. It's just there's just no overlap. I think that Owlish is a grade A fucking moron. So do with that information what you will.
That kind of inhibits your ability to grow as a creator, does it not?
Maybe, yeah. You guys, can you just be like less snarky, maybe?
Yeah, the thing is when you say that, you sound very non-committal, right? You sound very non-committal about it and very like a little bit sarcastic or a little bit sardonic if I'm being honest.
Well, drama's banned in the chat, so we don't want drama.
Oh, drama's banned in the chat, so people repeating the rhetoric that is in the drama community is not allowed, right?
Repeating the rhetoric or repeating the claims?
Repeating the rhetoric surrounding the drama. So they're basically saying back to me the claims and drama that people have, you know, made about me.
Hey guys,
What did
please
somebody
don't
say the other day?
please don't do that. And I'm being serious. Let's focus on the arguments, okay? Let's focus on Alish's arguments.
Which arguments, though?
Let me read the chat to see what they're saying.
Yeah, let's
Which
take a look here.
ones?
What did they do, Alice? Explain why people should care. Direful, you're getting called into this bullshit because you're one of the people who just sit and chat all day and call me illiterate, right? Like, obviously I'm not illiterate if I'm reading your message.
That is
so
true.
you just say,
True.
But I think
true.
that's like a reference to like the comma splice thing. Remember that?
yeah, you know that.
She just hijacks
you know,
Pisco streams. if you have no concrete plan for a stream on the day, or if it's like a bonus stream, then somebody like this is a legitimate gift, though, because this is just free content for you, then free content for others to react to. Everyone benefits here, because the truth of the matter is that no matter how illiterate Owlish comes across as, and she comes across as pretty fucking illiterate, there's going to be people who will be on her side for no reason other than a dislike of Pisco, which is all right, you know. That's just a matter of that's just the nature, I should say, of online arguments.
That Angelica Schuyler cares about comma splices as well, so you should care about comma splices.
What do you? Yeah, but it wasn't a comma splice.
Well, it wasn't a comma.
Okay, I will read that as soon as I've destroyed this Revenant of Adversity.
Splice, but she cares about commas. My dearest Angelica. Mm-hmm.
That I don't know why that maps onto the El Sayed comma thing.
It doesn't. I'm just making a comment about how...
Okay, Chido's saying, I looked into someone's argument, and the deadness of Luna's dead name / pronouns is less certain than I had thought. Via Salt Lake Tribune, July 9, 2026. In a small portion of the video, Twigs confirmed he has also gone by the name Luna, but added that he used the name with some people and that it wasn't an overall thing. Both the prosecution and the defense have referred to Twigs with male pronouns throughout the hearing. Okay, so it's less dead namey and more just fucking confusing. I will stick with Luna for the time being, and we will just see how the court case proceeds, because at this point I just don't know. And it makes no... It's not a hardship for me to use Luna for the time being. Or we can go by they, them, right? Just keep it neutral.
You should care about commas, because...
I care a lot about commas. I used to edit people's papers in school. You'd like have to edit someone else's papers, and I would always do all the commas correctly and fix people's commas. I was actually...
You would always do all the commas correct?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. People would come to me and be like, hey, can you check for my commas? Like, I was known as the guy who would do the commas.
What?
I'm not joking.
Wow.
I have a very dear
by
friend
the way,
who...
I want to put on... Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, we can skip the anecdote.
I'm being obnoxious. Go ahead, finish.
No,
it's your stream.
I just had a very dear friend
She's been obnoxious for the last hour and a little bit.
Come to me and like
no
ask me
biggie
to like check if the commas were right in her paper, and so I gained a little reputation about commas.
I think she was hitting on you, and you just didn't notice.
Maybe. We went to prom together.
Holy shit! You fumbled the bag, bro. You fumbled that one. You really think somebody would come to you and ask you about commas and not like...
Okay, all right, let's move on, all right?
Wow,
it does sound like you
bro,
fumbled the bag.
By the way, I just want to put on the record that Pisco used an M dash in the last tweet he sent me.
Can we get to an issue? What do you think about what we talked about last time? It felt like these were all like very superficial El Sayed things.
Okay, so... Of course, you want to go back to this. So I think that
we've only got about 20 minutes left of
statements were very vague, and the vagueness of his statements kind of indicated that he doesn't have a very well thought out plan. I'm not going to talk about the commas again, by the way.
Thank fuck.
But it says to me that like he's using a very like what's the word I'm looking for? He's using a very, wow, like losing my thoughts, which makes sense because it's 3 a.m. He's using like a temp.
To be fair, small credit to her. She's been extremely fucking annoying, but small credit where credit is due. If I was having a conversation at 3 a.m., I would probably not be at my best either. As for why they're having a conversation at 3 a.m., I do not know. Maybe it's a time zone thing, because Pisco's in Japan right now. Maybe, I'm guessing. Talking to people about political issues at 3 a.m. is either the best experience of your life if there are no cameras around, or not so much if there are cameras around. And thank you for the subscription. Unless that was the sound of Pisco's stream elements thingamajig. But yeah, just as a reminder, because we are now a little bit over 2 hours into the stream. Oh no, it was Kendall on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. Hi, hello, and welcome. It was mine, hell yeah. And as a quick reminder to all of you guys, if you enjoy the content, hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube, hit that follow button if you're on Twitch. On YouTube, you can like as well. And if you're interested in joining the community, you can do !Discord to get a link to my Discord, where there is a whole bunch of cool people and a few others, but mostly cool people. So I highly encourage you to jump on in there.
Template for somebody.
Plus, if you do, and once I have taken over Poland, there might be a plot of land in it for you, you know, depending on the level of support.
Who is running for office. It's like he typed into ChatGPT. Not saying he did this, but it's like he typed into ChatGPT, how do I write a DSA platform? How do I write a campaign promise based on the DSA platform? And it just spit something out at him. And then he made that his campaign promise.
Fucking cowabungaed me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really get that sense.
You don't get that sense?
That he, like, followed a vague platform structure on ChatGPT. I don't get it.
Wait, who the fuck is saying that this is what I'm talking about.
What?
Why is Owlish so triggered by chat when she has her in orbiters? Who the fuck is an orbiter?
You have orbiters?
That's what I'm saying. They're just making shit up. I don't have orbiters. What the fuck? I don't even think I have a fucking solar system. I don't even think I'm a planet, unless you're talking about my weight.
Oof. But also self-deprecating jokes are funny. Props.
Not you, I meant. Like, that was a joke.
Oh.
Well, self-deprecating jokes are a sign of good character. First sign of good character that I've seen from her so far.
Are you going to vote for El Sayed or would you if you were in Michigan?
Chris's orbiter is his wife.
Okay, that's another thing.
I am the orbiter of my wife.
I remembered one of the other points I wanted to bring up. Do you understand that a Republican is not the same thing, is not necessarily the same thing as MAGA?
Yes.
I like my wife very much. She's super
cool. Right, so voting for a moderate Republican instead of a DSA member would be idyllic, especially in an area that is already pretty conservative.
Not necessarily, but I don't agree with that. And also, Rogers is like, he's MAGA. Come on.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that MAGA is not prominent because Trump is endorsing all of his MAGA politicians because he's trying to put them in the right spot. But if a moderate Republican ran against a DSA member, you would vote for the moderate Republican, right?
No.
Why?
No. Because at least in the foreseeable future, I think a moderate Republican would be more harmful to harm reduction than a DSA person.
Why?
In virtue of what they're likely to vote on.
I don't understand this. What the fuck is a moderate Republican right now? Because to my understanding, every single one that could have potentially had that title absolutely falls the fucking line with Trump. And if you have... I'm just... Fuck me, man.
What would they vote on that you think would be bad? A moderate Republican, by the way, not MAGA, so they're not...
I'm with you, Kendall.
And by the way, there's essentially none of these people in Congress.
If I'm not...
I know, I just want to make it clear there's essentially none of it. I know, I just want to make that clear. So, I'll give you some examples. Ready?
Yeah.
They would vote against any of the filibuster. Correct?
Yeah.
They would vote against court expansion for Democrats, correct?
For Democrats? Yes, probably.
They would vote against probably enforcing the insurrection component of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment and to try to undo Trump situations and disqualify a bunch of Trump people. I think they would.
Hey, Sage, how are you doing?
No, I don't think less likely.
They're less likely than a DSA member, right? To vote in favor.
More likely? More likely to vote in favor? No, I don't think that they're more likely to vote in favor.
No, they're less likely to vote in favor, right? Of what I just proposed?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Less likely to
But
vote.
no, I don't think that they would, because
Okay, but less likely. That's all it
they're
takes.
a moderate.
Percentages.
I would
Percentages.
an anti-MAGA Republican, I don't think would do anything to affirm Trump's position.
Oh, Jesus, Sage. Sorry to hear that, buddy.
Okay. I'm not saying that they would, but they wouldn't vote in favor of ending the filibuster. They wouldn't vote for court expansion. They wouldn't vote for, or they'd be less likely to vote for expansion of the Section 3 enforcement. They would be less.
There's another component to this, which is that if you were to vote for one of them, you send a message that there is no, like, deeper punishment after someone like Trump. The entire party needs to understand that they've pulled this, and there are consequences to this shit. There is punishment. There is no fucking way that you can just get off scot-free after something this bad. Like, I don't get it. Like, the idea is that, like, DSA are unhinged because they're all, like, fucking quasi-socialist Russian tankies. Point me to the Russian tanky, and I will attack them alongside you. But to make a boogeyman out of the entire fucking DSA, particularly when Mamdani's doing all right. El Said's been, like, one of the bad DSA people, and El Said isn't even officially part of the DSA, so fucking that one's confounding as well. It's just, I want people to be specific. Mamdani's pro-Ukraine. Yes, and so is El Said. El Said's statement on Ukraine was absolutely fucking based. There was one genuinely insane DSA lady, and she got nowhere. She wasn't a part of any of the major elections yet. What's the name of? She had a, I think she had a two-parter name. Valdez, yeah. That lady's fucking weird, man. I would not vote for her. The rest of them seem perfectly fine, though. And I can't imagine they will not vote alongside Democrats. It just depends on the bill, no? DSA will vote with Democrats almost all of the time. That's what I'm thinking, yeah. I don't know. I think that at this point, if people want to be critical of the DSA, I think that's perfectly fine. But I want to have the opposite approach to the one that Destiny took. Because Destiny said in his Reddit, I think he enacted a rule a little while ago, where if you want to praise Mamdani, you need to, like, provide a specific source and not just an empty praise. I feel like if you want to shit on the DSA, I want specific criticisms and not just surrounding vagueness. And then if that's fair criticism, I'll be standing alongside you criticizing them too. Like, just genuinely. For real, I promise. I promise.
Likely to vote in favor of expansion of Obamacare, right? Less likely to vote in favor of, public option. Less likely to vote.
No, I don't think Obamacare. I think that somebody.
Yeah, BB, that's a weird thing to say. I've misread that. I thought you were calling Destiny a bitch. That's just weird, man. Be better.
Obamacare wasn't really even
less likely,
popular
right?
among the. Well, Obamacare wasn't even really popular among the Democrats, as far as I know, because it was a Band-Aid.
All right, let's keep going. Less likely to vote on progressive nominees in the executive branch and court appointments, right?
I don't know why that would. What is a
just
what is a
easy. These are we're going down
Can
the
you
line.
define? Can you define a progressive nominee?
Yeah, a executive branch official or a judicial official who has a more progressive track record, by which we mean more left wing, either socially or economically.
I mean, not really. You can't really say for sure because they're not obligated to vote.
I'm not saying they're obligated. I'm
Like
asking what they're likely to do. They're less likely to vote in favor. They're not left wing, right? They're moderate Republicans, so they're less likely to vote for progressive nominees. Correct?
They're less likely. I wouldn't say that they wouldn't do that though.
Yeah, they're less likely, right? And we're just going off percentages. I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Less likely to vote.
Fine, but
for a Democratic
right,
president's
likely,
agenda.
But I don't think that a DSA member would vote for this
Really?
either.
Because
a DSA member would want to embolden.
Your point doesn't stand, BB. That was just a really fucking weird thing to say. And instead of dropping it, you're doubling down. Why? To what end? To what purpose? For what reason? Like, what about the general vibe of the stream? It gives you the belief that if you find an outspoken woman who happens to be a DGG, we get to call her Destiny's bitch. Because I want to know which part of me sends that message across so I can address it. Let's just not do that. Because I saw their further takes. Let's not. Come on, man. You know you've done a bad. Just accept that you've done a bad and do better. The whole thing we're doing right now is needless. Hey Lily, how we doing?
No, they wouldn't vote Democrat. They wouldn't want to. They wouldn't want to embolden their.
I still think that all intelligent women around Destiny are long gone. Look, DGG has a huge fucking brain issue. Don't get me wrong. There's just it's just come on.
Have you heard of a DSA member ever voting down like a Democratic nominee? Right? Those are, you know who did that in the previous administration?
Yeah, it was Republicans.
No, it was Joe Manchin. And it was Kristen Sinema.
Insane.
They scuttled some
Absolutely.
nominees.
She's
That's
annoying the fuck out of me.
That's fine, but literally Hassan Piker, who's a prominent DSA member, didn't endorse
not every
Kamala.
combo needs to be about this guy.
Okay, let's be so for real. People make everything about Destiny, so why can't we make everything about Hassan?
I don't think people should make everything about Destiny.
I don't think so either, but I mean, this is a perfect example. I mean, you're dismissing my example because you don't like it, not because it's about somebody.
Hassan, like, what are you saying? So because Hassan didn't vote for Kamala, then what? Moderate Republicans probably didn't vote for Kamala either.
No, they didn't, but you understand that
Also, didn't Hassan vote for her in the end? I want to shit on Hassan. I genuinely do. Every day of the week. Just a thoroughly enjoyable experience as far as I'm concerned. Didn't he vote for Kamala in the end? Isn't the thing that he did that's problematic, that he was putting it off and off and off up to a point where, like, at the end he did a meek, like, well, yeah, you know, I voted for her, and you can do as you want to do. Wasn't that his thing? Mike from PA is the person who didn't vote from her. Shit on that guy. Mike from PA is an absolute fucking cunt. Like, shit on people for things that they've actually done. Or didn't do in this case, which Hassan did do. And Mike didn't do. A lot of do's in that sentence. He had a poll on Twitch, 80+% of Hassan viewers voted Kamala. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. And again, he did in the end. Hassan Piker voted for Kamala Harris. Mike from PA didn't. So Mike from PA doing the whole vote blue no matter who, no. Shit on that cockroach. Mike from PA is an absolute despicable piece of human fucking garbage. But this just doesn't track. Hassan, Destiny, and Vosh had a dark triad of online left.
So I think Hassan voted for Kamala too, just heads up. According to him, at least.
Did it? I mean, he didn't endorse her.
Yeah.
So why tell your audience that you don't endorse somebody and then vote for them? Wouldn't that indicate to your audience?
It was dumb. It was evil. It was bad. What do you want me to say?
I want you to... I don't know. I think I want you to say you don't like Hassan Piker.
You're trolling me, right?
Do you like him? Like, as a person, I don't mean like...
Does he know him as a person?
You're trolling.
Do you think
You're
he
doing
provides...
the thing. You're doing the thing.
What thing?
You're doing the cliche.
Do you think he provides meaningful commentary or a positive outlook to the Democratic Party?
Usually no.
What do you mean usually no?
I don't know. Do you not understand those words?
No, I'm asking for your specific definition of usually no. So
Most
in what
of the
case
time.
would you? that means yes sometimes. So
Yeah,
what,
I've heard him
where is the
sometimes
yes?
say that Democrats are preferable to Republicans. For example, in the conversation with Adam Mockler.
That's such a milquetoast taste, and you won't actually.
That's not even a. That's a. If you're an anti-Hassan person, that's a dub. That's a dub for you. Pisco just said that some of the times Hassan says something good. Most of the time, he's not a benefit to the Democratic Party. That's literally what he just said. And that's not good enough for her. How can that not be good enough? Also, look how fucking cold this transmog is. Holy shit. I am looking good. I cannot relate to that, Lua, luckily. I have never had that dynamic before me. My wife is cool as fuck. And she knows I would never cheat, so it's just like we don't have that problem at all. God fucking bless.
Like, you won't actually.
My wife's cool as fuck. I don't praise her enough to you guys.
So you
She's
like him in some aspects, is what you're saying.
So there
you
was
don't
one...
object to him.
No, I didn't say that. I object to Hassan. But there was one moment where they
Pisco's
were reviewing...
completely checked out, yes, and I do not blame him.
What were they reviewing? It was like... It might have been the Andrew Wilson, like, sniz thing.
Oh,
where,
God, yeah.
Or maybe he was on...
Where he hinted that he doesn't eat his wife out. What a grim... oh, God. Oh, God.
With one of the Cumtown guys. I forget who. Where I thought it was, like, funny. They were bantering and shit. But in general, I don't agree with his takes, and I think that he has a negative outlook on the Democratic Party. But this is like so cringe. That we, like, what is every conversation needs to be about this? Yeah.
Well, I find it a little bit concerning that you still are sweeping. that you think that Hassan should have a place in this community.
What do you mean by that?
Do you think that he should be in any respects representative of the Democratic Party?
By which you mean what? By what do you mean by representative of the Democratic Party?
Okay, you're doing that. You're doing
yeah, because you want to keep it vague. Because you want to keep it vague.
No, like, representative of the. Do you think that he should be telling his audience prescriptive things about the Democratic Party?
Telling his audience prescriptive things about the Democratic Party?
Yes, prescriptive things. It just.
The fuck does she? Let's say that Pisco says no. What is the what's the angle here? What do we? Are we advocating for him to get banned? Are we going to his house? What's the idea that you get a say in whether Hassan is part of this community when Hassan has like 20,000 million fucking 100 bazillion more people watching him than any of us do? It's just that notion's bizarre. Who the fuck is any of us to say?
Vote for this person. I'm going to this event to speak. Do you think he should be going to events to speak?
Depends on what he's saying.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, this is what I thought.
Wait.
And also, if you're an anti-Hassan person, you absolutely think he should be going to the events to speak, because if he's very lovey-dovey with certain politicians, it can make you think certain things about those politicians, and you can then make a hopefully more informed vote on whether you want to support them if they support him, who you consider to be apparently like a Hitler-lite. I don't understand what she wants. We don't... Do you support Hassan going to these events? No. Put him on house arrest. Hassan is no longer allowed out the house. Fucking put a shot collar on him and do to him what he does to Kaya. He's no longer allowed to leave. Just strictly off limit. Hassan Piker is now sitting here because Owlish and Pisco have decided so. Owlish herself. I'm putting Pisco here in a hypothetical, but Owlish has decided he no longer gets to leave the house, and as such, Hassan Piker is no more. Goodbye. What are we doing?
Why aren't you okay? Why are you being so cagey?
What's
about
cagey?
this?
I'm answering all your questions.
You're not answering the questions in a way that
she wants him to
I want you to make committal answers.
It is committal. Yeah, it is a committal answer.
Committal?
Yeah, I misspoke. You said an MD in dancing.
Okay. Yeah. Straw man.
You said
Jesus
I could just get an MD in dancing.
Yeah, well, you can, but.
Oh really?
You can. Well, PhD.
Jesus. Chat, just because I am suffering here alongside you, If you wanted to throw some subbies or some biddies my way, or just do a direct donation, that would be greatly appreciated. All of the linksies and whatnots to get that going are in my Twitch about section, because the pain is real.
A PhD. No, not an MD, a PhD.
So you misspoke there too, huh?
Yeah, I misspoke, but right, we're not talking about me misspeaking. I know you're trying to pivot here, but it's astounding to me that you are not answering my question of whether or not he should be representative of the Democratic Party in any capacity.
By which you
yes
mean
or no?
giving prescriptions?
Yes or no? Yes or no?
You mean,
Don't ask me any more questions.
You mean giving
Make a
prescriptions?
answer.
Only if I know what you mean.
You're pretending like to not know what I mean.
You said giving prescription
like
to his
don't know what I mean.
audiences. Right. So I asked, what do you mean by represent the Democratic Party? You said giving prescriptions to his audience regarding the Democratic Party.
It's a simple question,
and I said,
Pisco.
well,
Like,
it will depend on what the prescription is. Doesn't that make all the sense in the world?
Who to vote for?
Yeah, it would, if he gave the prescription of vote for Kamala, he should make that declaration, correct?
He didn't.
If he did. But I did have breakfast. What's wrong with you? If he did.
But I understand if he did, but he didn't. Do you think that he should be giving speeches?
She cannot engage
Depends
in
on what he says.
Events.
Oh, where? Which events?
DSA event.
I think she might be legally retarded. Like, in these sorts of, it's ableism to call her that sort of way, so I probably shouldn't have, but, Jesus. You wanted to say pain Israel? Dude, I was watching that debate today. I need to understand why the fuck Candace Owens says Israel that way. It is uncanny.
DSA events. Do you think if you went to a DSA event, he should be giving speeches and he should be representing himself as a member of the Democratic Party?
Representing himself as a member of the Democratic Party? I don't like that, but I can't control it.
Yeah, this is insane, Pisco. Like, I'm actually astounded that you can't, like, carte blanche, like, just deny that he should be representative of the Democratic Party. This is why people say you sweep.
By what you by,
like,
by
you
which you
understand
mean
that, right?
By which you mean give prescriptions like who to vote for, but that's going to depend on what the prescription is.
This is why people say you sweep, bro. If you want people to stop, want people to stop saying
that's crazy.
If you want people to stop saying that, you should probably say things like, "No, I don't."
Identify the statement that is sweeping. What's the sweepy statement?
The fact that you will make the fact that you're giving non-committal answers and you're being very cagey and trying to divert the topic and using straw mans and asking me 1,000 questions that you definitely
like, what do you
know the
mean
answer
by that?
to.
And you're like giving
Yeah,
prescriptions.
what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Well, it depends on the prescription.
You
I don't. I don't know
that.
what you mean by that. By represent the Democratic
do.
Party.
Like,
Do you mean be elected
Again,
to Democratic office? Do you mean be part of the DNC? Do you mean be given a seat at the table for policy discussions? What do you mean?
Yes, all of those things. Do you think?
Yes, some yes, some no.
Commentary.
Some yes, making political commentary at all.
Some yes. The some yes is sweeping.
Should he be allowed to get? Should he be allowed to buy pizza?
Yeah.
You're fucking sweeping. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's not the same thing at all.
Hey, if you want to get mega woke, then he should only be allowed to buy vegan pizza. Because he has the means and the capacity to not eat meat. But other than that, I think we can allow him to order pizzas now and then.
Oh, yeah. Well, why would you want him to get pizza? Don't you know that's just going to feed him so he can destroy the party from within?
True. Put him on a hunger strike.
So my entire thing is he shouldn't be representative of the party.
And you want to let him, like, eat to fuel his conquest?
What?
Eats to fuel his conquest sounds so much more badass than the fact that he's just going to order a quick takeaway and have it delivered to his front door.
He can make generalized political commentary. I'm saying that he shouldn't make.
Wait, you want to let him make? You want to let him
about
make, So you agree with his commentary? Then you're sweeping. You think he should be allowed to make commentary?
This is a straw man. This is what we call a straw man.
I just don't know why you're sweeping.
Chat. This is what we call a straw man chat. because he won't answer the question. He simply will not answer the question, and he won't say that Hassan Piker should not have a place in the Democratic Party.
And you won't say that Hassan Piker
shouldn't
be able to speak out. You think it's okay for him to speak out on issues?
He should not be speaking out on issues as a representative of the Democratic Party.
By which you mean what?
If he wants.
To be fair, Pisco did just say that he doesn't like the idea of Hassan being a representative of the Democratic Party. He was a bit soft on that, certainly softer than I would have liked to see someone being, but he did say that, right? I did hear that. You guys did as well, right? He very clearly said, oh, I don't like that, when she asked about Hassan representing the Democratic Party. Drip looks cool. Yeah. The drip is fucking fire, innit? Look at a close-up. Fucking nice. Wait, switch body type. Am I going to be a chick? Oh, I can play as a chick. I don't even know. Any gear that doesn't match the new body type will be unequipped. I'm not going to do that then, because I don't know what that means. Wish I knew that earlier on, though.
To represent himself as an independent thinker and not a member of the Democratic Party.
Does he identify as a Democrat? Does he identify as a Democrat?
He does, doesn't he? Should he? Do
you know if he does?
He's dangerous. Well, I mean, am I wrong? Do you know?
Oh, I've just Googled it. Apparently that's just a cosmetic thing, because the game's designed to have you play as a man, because Anne is supposed to be a man. So if you switch to a woman, it's gonna disable in-game cinematics and mutes voice lines. Come on, you could have hired somebody to do the voices.
I thought that he didn't identify as a Democrat.
Hey, Ruby, how you doing, love?
What does he identify as?
Not as a Democrat, I don't think.
What does he identify as? Because he tries to represent... He went to the Young Democrats convention.
Yeah, Republicans can show up to Democratic convention.
That is insane.
Whoa, that's
no
insane.
Shot, bro.
What's insane?
No shot, bro.
What's insane? What's insane? Should he be banned? Should he be banned on Twitch? Should he be banned on Twitch?
Yes.
Okay. Should he be banned on YouTube?
Well, if he's doxing people and making statements about like killing people, yeah, I think he should be banned.
Should he be allowed to give political commentary?
Yes, absolutely. But I don't think he should represent.
Where should he be allowed?
Is more lax. Kick is. Oh well, I don't think he should be banned for political.
The issue is Hassan is now representing the Democratic Party, so the MC to deal with that to mitigate harm or find some sort of way to excise him. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. That's on them to do. Look, if the Democratic Party is being represented by Hassan and the Democratic Party ends up looking like some fucking unhinged tankies or are painted as such as a result of that, that's on the Democrats to fucking do something about. It's not on a random guy out of Japan or a random guy out of Poland or a random DGG or wherever the fuck she is to like make the change, you know what I mean? Like, come on. That's on them. Oh, he's wait, did she say the doxing thing? That's gonna be a rich thing. Hold on. We're rewinding.
Should he be allowed to give political commentary?
Yes. Absolutely. But I don't think he should represent.
Where should he be allowed?
Is more lax. Kick is. Oh well, I don't think he should be banned for political commentary. I think he should be banned for his other weird comments.
Okay.
Like I think it's weird that he calls Destiny a sex pest every other day.
Well,
without evidence.
I don't want to get into drama.
Well, that's the one you go for. All the things that Hassan does, and the thing you're gonna have a problem with is that he calls Destiny a sex pest. That's your go-to. That's the not any of the terrorism shit, not any of the number of bizarre fucking foreign policy takes, not any of the anti-democratic takes that he's had, not the fucking anti-Kamala Harris poster. No, we're gonna talk about him calling Destiny a sex pest. That's the issue. Why are we here? Just to suffer.
Well, I know you don't want to get into
was
drama,
a bit further back.
okay, but that's just an example of the.
Does he identify as a Democrat? Does he identify as a Democrat?
He does, doesn't he? Should he? Do
you know if he does?
He's dangerous. Well, I mean,
That's so telling though as well,
Am I
Lua, isn't
wrong?
it?
Do you know?
Her going to that as the first thing is so fucking telling.
What does he identify as?
Not as a Democrat, I don't think.
What does he identify as? Because he tries to represent. He went to the Young Democrats convention.
Yeah, Republicans can show up to
Pisco,
Democratic
that is insane.
Whoa, that's
no
insane.
shot, bro.
What's insane?
No shot, bro.
What's insane? What's insane? Should he be banned? Should he be banned on Twitch? Should he be banned on Twitch?
Yes.
Okay. Should he be banned on YouTube?
Well, if he's doxing people and making statements about like killing people, yeah, I think he should be banned.
Should he be allowed to give political commentary?
I didn't hear the doxing bit. All right, Chief. All right. You have to. It remains true years down the line, and it remains true that if you want Destiny to have really bad optics, have one of his orbiters on your stream and have them fuck up the arguments real bad. I cannot tell you how many times like Destiny's losing his mind. I remember that way back in the day. Because Destiny's whoever Destiny's watching the debate of is somebody who refuses to talk to him directly. So one of the orbiters goes on, and then one of the orbiters starts struggling, and Destiny's over there molding. Imagine one of your orbiters going on Pisco stream and saying that if you dox someone, you should be banned off of YouTube. And you're Destiny. What are you doing? Owlish, you have got to stop. He's your man. It's friendly fucking fire.
Yes, absolutely. But I don't think he should represent.
Where
Kick
should he be allowed?
Is more lax. Kick is.
Also, I will say it is kind of wild to me. Not full on wild, because I understand it, but kind of wild. Like wild with maybe lowercase w. That the only reason why Pisco didn't go to where I just went is because he's trying not to have drama on his stream. Like, that's got to be the only reason, right? He's not... Because otherwise he would have immediately jumped to the hypocrisy of that statement.
Oh, well, I don't think he should be banned for political commentary. I think he should be banned for his other weird comments.
Okay.
Like, I think it's weird that he calls Destiny a sex pest every other day without evidence.
I don't want to get into drama.
Well, I know you don't want to get into drama, okay, but
yeah,
that's just an example of the type of thing that he says daily that I don't think should be allowed on
It's
Twitch.
constant. You know, Destiny reacted to the Connor Pisco talk yesterday, right? I did not know, no, because I don't really... One of the things that saddens me, alongside the fact that, you know, it was a very disillusioning moment of somebody who I did quite like as a content creator, one of the things that saddens me as well about the fact that I have no affiliation is that there's no one central topic to consistently bond over. It's not like I have one streamer that I can watch to talk about like their takes on things, you know? That used to be quite cool. But you can't have that, because every single big streamer that you could orbit is a dogshit fucking human being. Asmongold, Hassan, fucking Destiny, any one of them, just name any big streamer, and orbiting him is just a painful fucking thing. So it's sad. It's just sad. I think I'm just sad. You have made me sad. How do you feel about yourself now? You have made the streamer man cry.
In my opinion, I could be wrong, but I just think it's insane that you're.
Watch
like,
it, chat.
why are you
Hey,
being so
chat.
cagey?
Watch it. No drama. I'm serious. Yes. No drama.
Oh God, Doobie's here, isn't he? Yeah.
Can we just say that we can move on to something non-Hassan? Is that possible?
Wow, you want to move on? Well, if I'm moving on, I'm moving on to going to sleep. It's 4 a.m.
Okay.
He doesn't want to do drama.
Owlish, this was a good follow-up conversation. I appreciated it. I thought it was a productive one.
That's
I don't
a
know about
lie.
you.
It was.
That's a lie.
And I appreciate you willing to come on and chat it out.
Yeah. That's called having a spine for. Well,
Just take
Never mind,
the
I was gonna
dub.
make a really bad joke. Oh, no, don't make that joke. I give myself kudos for having a spine and actually confronting people instead of sitting in the chat like a stupid keyboard warrior
Very
and
brave.
not wanting to confront me. So anytime somebody wants to, I can either host you on my platform that I now have. So yeah, I do have a platform. I do.
Nice. What is it?
It's here. I'll type it because I have L's and I's. I have two I's instead of an L and I. I just make it look like. I haven't uploaded anything yet, but I just did my first stream today.
Congrats.
Well, I'm also
How'd it
typing
go?
it. I mean, I was just testing things. It went well. I actually deleted the VOD because it was a test stream.
Nice.
So.
Well, I'll give you a follow, and looking forward to you.
Wow, thank you.
In the space, and yeah, let's talk again soon. All right.
Yep.
All right. See you later.
All right. Bye.
Pain.
Good combo. A great combo.
He's lying. He lies as easy as he breathes.
Okay, guys. Hope you had some fun. Hope you enjoyed the Charlie Kirk conversation. I feel like wiped out. Maybe that means I lost the debate. I'm gonna go. Love you guys. Hey, appreciate the support. Stay cool. See you soon.
Oh, God. Oh. Good bonus stream. But I am tired. What a... Oh, fuck me. Okay, can anyone tell me how to raid people on YouTube? Because I want to pass this raid forward, but I don't know if I can. I absolutely can. I think Beans is live, right? Which means I should be able to pass this raid onto Beans. But I do not know how to do that. No idea, that's not ideal. Not ideal. Someone somewhere. I was counting on you, man. I was counting on you. I don't know. Okay, so we're not passing the raid on. I will learn one day, but it is not going to be today. On Twitch, however, we will raid Ice Beans, so that she doesn't feel abandoned by yours truly. Thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed the bonus stream. I certainly had fun. Oh, I don't know if this is reliable. Oh, Cheetos found something. The Cheatster's here with us. Ooh.
Howdy everyone, Yogurt here, and you are here because you want to know how to redirect on YouTube, aka raid another stream like you would on Twitch when you're finished with your stream, because, well, so to do that, you will come up to here to edit, click that, you will come to customization, scroll down, and you will see redirect here. You'll
oh, hell yeah. Let's see if that works though. I do not know where the edit option is. Fuck. Ah, not good. His shit looks different. His shit looks different. His shit looks different. Wait, no, I found it. Yes, I found it. There we go. All right, we are redirecting on both Twitch and on YouTube. Thank you all for being here. Good night, sleep tight. I will be back with you next week. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Drink plenty of water. Goodbye. YouTube, I'm still with you. Redirect. Okay, so if I click save, and now I click end stream, I think it will redirect you. So thank you all for being here. I hope you had a good time. Once again, if you haven't already, I highly encourage you to subscribe, join my Discord as well if that tickles your pickle. I'll be back next week on Thursday with another stream. I will at some point begin producing YouTube videos once again, but I cannot promise you when that will be, as my life is reasonably busy right now. In either case, good night, sleep tight, and fingers crossed this is going to send you over to Beans' stream. So bye-bye.